All right, how we doing, guys? Welcome to the live watch along. Sorry, I'm late. I'm only 45 minutes late. Sorry about that. A little bit late getting organised tonight. I got home late. I had to eat. I procrastinated. I tried to get stuff set up. I didn't get it. Well, I couldn't get it set up on time, and thought I'll just wait for this fight to finish, and I'll get on with it. So. Now, first of all, this is not a live stream. If you want a live stream, go check out all the other fake sites out there, or not fake sites, the bot accounts, whatever the hell they are, and get yourself a link to watch. And there's plenty of them out there. This is a proper live watch along, not a live stream. So again, if you've come here to get a live stream, you're in the wrong place. So it's just me watching you watching me watching the fight and me giving my opinion. So again, I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't even put the notification up today. I'm sorry about that. I was the last 2 days I've been on the road, haven't had a chance to do anything, so I didn't even put the thing up on Facebook, the thumbnail thing, whatever it is. But welcome to the show. Now, they're actually interviewing or about to interview Nikita Tszyu at the moment, so I'm going to turn this up. They've already interviewed Glenn Jennings and didn't seem too happy. I'm just going to turn this up so I can hear what Nikita has to say. Right, they're asking him about the hand at the moment. So let's get the pleasantries out the road with that. We'll ask him about the hand, but you're going to be almost guaranteed they're going to ask him about Tim. So he said the hand is okay. He's feeling good. He's looking forward to his next fight. Let's see what he says when they ask about Tim. But yeah, Glenn Jennings not overly happy. By the way, guys, if you want to put a comment in there, go right ahead. I'll answer any questions or comments that you put in there. But I'm just listening to Nikita at the moment. Hang on, I think Tim. What's going on here? Tim and Nikita cross paths earlier. Oh, okay. It's Michael Zarafa saying, sign the contract. He says, see you soon. Michael Zarafa, fair income. I'm not even going to comment. Fair income. If you're not watching at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of you aren't because you're watching me watching that, Nikita was doing an interview and Michael Zarafa's walked past and said, sign the contract. And Nikita's just laughing it off at the moment. I'm just waiting for them to mention Tim. I'll keep a listen out for it. So Jonathan Brown asking him. Jeez, fair income. He asked him, does it bring him anger? He says no. He just shrugs it off. I mean, this is one guy you're going to really struggle to rattle, I suppose, isn't he? So, all right, who we got in the chat? Anthony Tadori, thanks for no worries, mate. Well, again, it's not a live stream; it's a live watch along. So I apologise if you're after for me to show it. I can't. I'll be kicked off. Frankie D. If you're going to do the yeah, mate, I was and I wasn't. And I'm sitting here, I'd finished my dinner, I'd got everything organised, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm sitting here with my own thoughts. Where's everything? Let's hook it up and let's get going. So I thought I'd wait until after the Floyd Masson fight before we get going. Sorry, guys, I don't want to seem distracted here, but I just want to hear what he has to say about Glenn and Tim and Igor. Andrew, how you going there, mate? Again, apologies for not putting the thumbnail up. I just haven't had time, so I've just gone live. So what are we? We've got, there you go. We've got 16 people watching. There you go. Toby, how are you there, mate? Salute and the chat from the UK. No worries at all, mate. I haven't done a watch along for a while. I was going to get the fight tonight at our pub, but fair income. And apparently we've had a couple of people turn up. I mean, if you did turn up and you're watching this now and you're calling me all the names under the sun, I apologise, but they wanted $700 to put this fight on, and I just won't pay it. We've had these types of fights on before. We get 6 people turn up, do the sums. We're not talking about $700 profit in total, by the way. We're talking about $700 profit. So a lot of money to go through the tills on a cold Thursday night. So Zarafa, fair dinkum. He's pointing at his the clock on his watch on his hand. Geez, we need a hero in this country, don't we? Fair dinkum. They try Jonathan Brown, and they're all trying to probe him for comments here, and he's just like, yeah, well, whatever. No, I don't know, whatever. If they were probably serious about it, they probably should have got Michael Zarafa on here with him, and let's have a little bit of banter. But even then, I don't think we'd get much out of Nikita. All right, so Sony's feeling good anyway, guys. So, look, again, they're trying their absolute best to get this fight happening, but I'm just waiting to hear what he has to say about what's going on. Now, if you watched Walking Boxing this morning, you would have seen... sorry, I'll get to your questions in a minute there, guys. Thanks for that. Where are we? Yeah, I said this morning that it wasn't official about Igor and Glenn. Well, it's 100% official now because I interviewed Glenn earlier. 5 people gone. I don't know who the 5 are. I don't know whether it's the whole team that was in the corner, plus Glenn, the manager. I don't know, because that would include, obviously, if you watch my video as well as away, Eric in the States, it would include him. I doubt it'd be his fight chef, so it's got to be his 4 cornermen and Glenn. It's crazy. So a whole new team, an absolute clean out. I'm just going to keep sort of an eye on this here, guys, because I want to hear what he has to say. He just says he doesn't know what's going on. So he's sticking with them, yep. He just said, if anything, it's stronger than ever, the relationship with his team. Yeah. And look, it's probably a good thing because rather than everyone expecting, well, Tim's gone down, Nikita's gone, these are grown men with in different stages of the career. So I got no dramas with Nikita saying, yeah, well, Tim's his own man. He can go do what he wants. We're related, but doesn't mean we're joined at the hip. And because Tim does this and leaves, I've got to do the same thing. So what's he got there? He just drew a picture. I don't know what it was. I don't know what happened there, but Nikita just drew a picture and held it up. Michael Zarafa thought it was funny. Nikita thought it was hilarious. And Megan Barnard, the host, just screwed it up and threw it away. So, and Nikita's just got up mid-interview and just walked off with a laugh. Oh, he's great, isn't he? All right, sorry guys. What do we got here? I'll get through these comments. What are we? Nectar of the Gods. It's me listening to you while I watch Adams and Bowerchuk replay, then Bud replay. Good stuff. I haven't had a chance to actually see the replays yet, mate. And I'll be honest with you, I had no idea that Bowerchuk had lost to Adams. I didn't even bother to check. And I think I might have even commented on one of the posts like, oh, yeah, I spoke like he'd won. I didn't even realise he'd lost. Because, when we were at the fight, obviously I didn't see the fight itself because with a lot going on. I was in the stadium. I didn't get there till the first, might have been the last fight of the prelims before the main card started. And I had no idea that he lost. And then, of course, after the fight, it's trying to get out of the stadium. It's going back. We've quickly got something there to go back. I had to pack straight up in the morning to the airport and home, and it's been trying to catch up ever since. So I haven't seen it. There's Drunken Boxing. How are you there, mate? What else have we got there? What did you reckon about the Munster? Sorry, Andrew, still haven't seen the fight, mate. I've seen a few of the highlights. So I haven't had a chance to watch a fight, but I will, I promise. Michael says, Papot, I said, well, give us your predictions, guys. I've been pretty adamant that this will be a tough fight for Liam. Does he win? Of course he does. But Papot, look, I don't think he'll win many rounds, but he's going to be awkward. I think I've said a few times, he's got that real awkward amateur style, the in and out, hands down. It'll be tough, but I just don't think he can do it for, 10 rounds or 12 rounds? I think it's 10, is it? 12, no, it's for a title, isn't it? 12. All right, so the results so far, by the way, Matthew Hosking defeated Lance McDonald. Danny Keating defeated Sachin Nautiyal in about 30 seconds. Ken Aitken, Sunday night, not a bad fight that was, by the way. And Floyd Masson, Johan Lind, he's tough, that Lind, isn't it? Or Lindy, or whatever his name is, he's tough. But Floyd Masson getting the decision win there. And we're about to go into Darren Truella, very, very good prospect. And Lachlan O'Shea. Truella is 5-0. Lachlan O'Shea is 9-6. So you'd probably expect him to get the win. All right, what else have we got here? Drunken boxing, bold call. No worries, Cal. As I said, I got home late. I was late getting organised, and I got home late-ish, but not too late. And then I had to eat, and then I was catching up on stuff, returns to emails, whatever. And I thought, will I or won't I? I thought, why not? I'm settled now. I'm watching the fight. We're halfway through Johan Lindy and Masson. I thought, why not? We'll jump on. So I'm glad that we've got, 40 people watching with no advertising whatsoever. So thanks very much, guys. And again, this is not a live stream. Kane, how are you there, mate? I don't think I've heard from you for a while. Thanks for the stream. No worries. Yeah, Toby, $700. Yep. Yeah, look, I've tried to sort of market our pub as the home of combat sports, where we are in Bendigo, Victoria. But sometimes you got to make a stand. And look, I think the Sporting Globe in town got it on. Good luck to them. They make a lot more money with their venue than what I do with mine. And I've tried my best to put all these fights on, but it's just got to the point, it's like, well, 6 people turn up. It's just money out of my pocket. So I don't like to do it, but I mean, I've just got no choice but to make a stand and really pick and choose what we get. And look, end of the day, what I'll be saying to the people coming in to watch, it's not my fault that No Limit or not really No Limit, it's Main Event. It's not my fault that Main Event wants $700 on a Thursday night to watch a card that pretty much should be free. So don't blame me, all right? I'm just a small business owner trying to make ends meet. So I don't like to do it because I would love to have 20, 30 people in there watching it, but when you get 6 people turn up on a weeknight, it just doesn't work. So the model has to change, in my opinion, as far as the Main Event thing goes. We need to. I know everything costs money, by the way, and I've been a promoter. I did 21 shows. I know what it's like. But they cannot expect, well, it's $50 on Main Event to watch now, and I'd much prefer to do that, I can tell you, and watch along with you guys. But they wonder, well, even the consumers wonder why pubs aren't putting it on. That's why. And I don't know many other pubs around, or none in town except for the Sporting Globe where I am, that have the fight on. And can you blame them? I mean, unless it's a Tim Tszyu fight or a Nikita or whatever, no one cares. They don't. Not enough anyway to put it on. What's that, Toby? What's that? Tim or Nikita? Not sure there, mate. But Nikita, again, he just said that he's going to stick with his team. Tim can do what he wants, and that's all good. So, and I reckon that's a real mature way to look at it. All right. Link to stream, no idea. Will, I'll say it again. This is not a live stream. So the 61 people watching it at the moment, I'll probably say it 20 times a night. Not a live stream. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I have no idea where the links come from. I'm sure there's someone in the chat that will put it on there. Or don't put the actual link there. Maybe just say the name of it or whatever. I don't want to get kicked off. But, hey, if you can get a live stream, then good luck to you. But I'm just going to do my best to commentate the fight for you guys tonight. We're in the round 1, by the way, for Darren Truella, Lachlan O'Shea. And I really like the look of Truella. Nice stand-up boxer, nice and neat. Lachlan O'Shea, I've seen a bit of him as well. Limited, but tough. And he'll give Truella some rounds. I'll keep you updated what's going on. But again, as we're looking through, again, I'll update as we go. But comments, questions, if it's not just even about tonight's fight, anything in general, just let me know. We'll just call it another episode of Talking Boxing. What do you got there, Naz? Evening all. What a nice surprise. Yep, happy to save the dollars. Might be even better at commentating boxing than Brownie. Hey, I'd back myself to do that, Naz, I tell you. And look, I love Brownie. I really do. I think he's great player. If you're not an AFL fan, you probably won't know who he is, but he's a legend and a great bloke. I've met him a couple of times. But look, this show's probably okay, but I just think I'm thinking to myself, where's the boxing person? They've got Megan Barnard, who does a great job as the host, the female lady. Oh, I was going to call her a female lady. Of course, she's a female. Although you never know these days, do you? But does a great job as the host. Then you've got Peter Bedell, my new best mate. He does a really good job as well because he knows his role. He's not supposed to be on there being the expert analyst. He's the reporter, newsbreaker, all that sort of stuff. And I don't mind his input. now that we're best mates. But Brownie, okay, he's there for a bit of comic relief and, whatever. But where's the boxing person? Where's the Jeff Fennick? Where's the Barry Michael? I know they've got Michael Zarafa on, by the way, but it's probably different when you've got a current fighter. I want someone that's been around the traps as far as being an actual commentator, not just have someone like Michael in for special comments. I want a Barry Michael or a Jeff Fennick or a Jeff Horn or someone like that, but that's just me. And I will say too, Naz, a lot of people say, oh, why don't you put your hand up? I'm not sure I'd put my hand up if it ever got offered to me, I'll be honest, because it's a whole lot different sitting here pretending I know everything to you guys and then getting on there and doing what they do. But anyway, drunken boxing, it's lagging. Oh, okay. Can you delete? It's lagging. I don't know. Is it lagging as it guys? I don't know. All right, drunken boxing, Parro on points. I would probably say the same. Yeah, guys, if anyone's got a link, by all means, put them in there. It's what we're here for. Yeah, Jacob NG, I gave him $1. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him back there, mate, because too much of a talent to be on the shelf. So, or on the sidelines. I really like Jacob NG. Drew, Brownie can commentate on boxing and Sean Porter can commentate the AFL Grand Final. Hey, mate, it's stranger things have happened, I suppose. But, yeah, I'm with you there. At least with, getting off topic here, at least with the AFL or I'm sure rugby league and that's the same, at least they actually have, ex-players that have, that are very, that was the end of the first round, by the way, very knowledgeable and everything and fresh out of the game. They can give a lot of input. But Brownie is doing the boxing. I just don't get it. I don't understand how Main Event invests so much money into their production and putting these telecasts on, and they can't find one ex-boxer to put on there and give some input. I know, and actually, I will say, Michael Zarafa does a pretty good job, but they try and integrate him into almost being the commentator or special comments, but also just continuing the whole zoo hype thing, to continually go back to him and what do you think of this? And they keep bringing it up. I just want someone that's totally impartial, that has no skin in the game, I suppose you'd call it, in the current format, in the current sport these days. Just an ex-fighter who knows his stuff. And I did say Jeff and Barry, but I really like Jeff Horn as well. I think he does a really good job. But surely they can find somebody. Oh, thanks, Kelly. What did you say there? Sorry, I missed your... Hang on, I'll go down a bit there. If you want to listen to me commentate the fight when it starts, hey, go right ahead. Thanks, Kelly. Don't put the link. It's easy to find yourself. Support the channel. Really appreciate that, Kelly. Kelly, how much is a jug of VB at your pub? Do they still have jugs? I'm not sure they do. Well, we don't. A schooner will cost you $8 drunken boxing. And when I had a pub about 20 years ago, we had pots. There was no such thing as schooners back then, or we didn't have them anyway. And when I first took over the pub 25 years ago, a pot of beer cost $2. And the same pot these days will probably cost you $6.50, something like that. So, but we don't have VB on tap either, mate, so I can't help you. All right, Naz, anyone seen the Ben at Eubank presser from this morning? Haven't watched it yet, but apparently it was a pretty good one. Yeah, I watched highlights of it, Naz, and look, we're in the round 2 here, guys, so I'll keep you updated. Truella looks like he's sort of doing what he wants to. He was already backed O'Shea up, who is looking a little bit survival mode at the moment. Good little right hand from Truella. One thing I will say, Naz, again, I haven't seen the whole press conference, but one thing I was disgusted in was Chris Eubank interrupting Eddie Hearn when he was trying to give praise or what do you call it, condolences or a tribute to Ricky Hatton. And he kept interrupting. I don't know the backstory to it. I only saw the bits and pieces, the highlights on Instagram, whatever it was, or YouTube. But, yeah, I thought it was really disrespectful. Really disrespectful. All right, Ray Lee, welcome back. I heard Igor, Glenn Jennings, and the Cut Man are 3 of the 5 names going from Tim's team. Yep. So it has to be. Who's the other? So the other one would be, so you got Igor, you've got Mark, is it Mark Gambin, who's the cut man. You've got Eric Bellinger from the Canadian guy we just spent the week with in the States. Who's the 4th guy? I don't know, unless, is Glenn the 4th guy, or I'm not sure, but apparently he said there was 5 of them. So, yeah, not good, Ray Lee. Yeah, hey, Combat Oz, great comment. Paul Kent, he did. And I know again, I'm not a rugby league man. I don't know much about Paul Kent. Apparently he was a rugby league commentator or whatever. I enjoyed it. I don't mind a rugby league guy being on there if he knows his stuff. And I didn't mind Paul Kent at all, Combat Oz. I thought he did a really good job. But again, you do anything out in society these days that's not deemed appropriate and you are gone. And they will axe you in 2 seconds flat. Sorry, Ali. At the moment, I would say Truella, mate. I think he's looking pretty classy. O'Shea's pretty tough. He's had his moments, but I think Truella's won the first 2 rounds. All right, so interviewing Liam Wilson at the moment. He looks always a little bit awkward, doesn't he, Liam? But all right, Toby. I've heard Eddie Hearn say these fight cards should be free to air, especially in Australia. But $700 is just madness, business or not. Hopefully Eddie can get someone to zone. Yeah, I'm with you, Toby. And look, again, I know all this costs money, and I'll quickly break it down for you. Main event take half the money. So if this fight, I think it was $50. Now I'm thinking they wouldn't get any more than 5,000 or 6,000 views, or purchases. I don't know. Let's just say it's 10,000. So 10,000 times 50 is 500,000. They get 250 of that. Does no limit. They probably get another 150 through the gate. That's $400,000 they've got to play with. So they have to make money. They would probably want to make 100 out of it. So they've got 300 to play with. They have to pay for the venue, purses, flights, you name it. They have to pay for all that. So you see where I'm getting at. The money goes really quick. I'm sure Papot would probably want 50 US. I'm probably thinking, I'm just guessing by the way. You would think Dominican Republic, he'd probably want, say, 20 or 30 US, which adds up to about 120, 130 fights and accommodation. You may as well say those 2 fighters, and the teams would have cost 150 grand. Then you've got Liam Parro, who might be on 100. Liam Wilson might be on 75. I'm just guessing here, by the way, guys. The undercard might be another 50, 60, 70, whatever it might be. So you can see how quickly it adds up, which is why they need to charge what they do. So these cards are not worth the money, but I also understand that without this money, we wouldn't even have the quality that we've got now. So that Kane... yep, so many greats in Aussie boxing. I would rather hear commentating. Yep, I think they're trying to appeal to Victorians. Yeah, you never know, Bob. Us Mexicans down here. All right, no VB. How am I supposed to convince him to bring me to the pub? Well, we've got what do we got? We've got Carlton Draft. We've got Carlton Dry. We've got Great Northern, and we've got Great Canadian Club on tap now, Cal. Which we had hard rated, but now it's Canadian Club. All right, Bridget, no, he's not on yet. I think he might be on next. So I'll get through these comments and I'll go to the cut. Yeah, he's on next. So at the moment, we've got Darren Gara Truella against Lachlan O'Shea in round number 3 of 6. And look, it's been okay, but I think Truella's sort of winning these rounds. He's coming forward. He's very slick. O'Shea's very awkward, but doing okay at the moment. I'd still think that Truella's won every round, though. Jacob NG is up next, and then we go into the 2 main events. So what is it at the moment? 8 o'clock, so you never know. We might be actually out of here by about 11. All right. Was that free stream playing golf at the moment? Normally they only show the last couple of fights. Okay, I'm not sure. All right, Bob, what do you got there, mate? I think main event are just trying to appeal to casual Victorian fans with a well-known AFL player. Yeah, the broadcast has been kind of Sydney-centric in the past with rugby league journos. That's good, Bob. Why not get Barry Michael on there? A Victorian/Australian boxing legend, and is a very, very good special comments guy. So I don't know what he's done wrong, but and don't get me wrong, I love Brownie, I really do. But if you're going to be on there as a special comments or whatever his role is, then you've got to know your boxing. And unfortunately with Brownie, probably like a lot of these footy players, they're boxing fans, but they skim the surface as far as the knowledge goes. So, look, the average punter out there probably doesn't care. But I'm a boxing fan who does care, and I want someone that knows what they're talking about and with a bit of cred. The doctor. Sorry, is that right, Rayleigh? Bill Ansley, he's the doctor. So he's out too. Geez, that's a big call because I know Tim spoke so highly of Bill. Yeah, I forgot that was him. Sorry. So it looks like we've got Glenn as the manager, Igor, Eric, the Canadian from Vegas, and we've got Bill and we've got Mark Gambon. So there's 5, all gone. Pretty crazy. They get like $3,000 from each pub broadcasting it. No, they don't, mate. It's only $700. Actually, having said that, I think there is a tier system in the pubs. I'm tier 4 because we've only got a small little pub, but I think we're tier 4 where and here's another thing for anyone out there wondering how pubs do it. Foxtel by itself costs $600 a week to put on, just to have Foxtel, to be able to watch the footy, the rugby, all just the free stuff on Foxtel. I don't think movies are part of it. I think they take them out. $600 a week, and then when the fight comes around, hey guys, we want another $700. I think it might have been $800 for Tim's fight actually, or $750 or something. All right, guys, we're into round number 4 here, and we've got Lachlan O'Shea coming forward. Truella on his toes. He just looks way too slick at the moment. He's just countering O'Shea, who's having a go. He's tough, but Truella looks like he's got all the answers at the moment. Combat Oz, Paul's on a channel called Fanatics TV on YouTube. Majority is rugby league. This is Paul Ken, is it? But did a good podcast with Garth Wood a few weeks ago. Yeah, that's right. Garth Wood from the hood, wasn't he? Knocked out Anthony Mundine. Ray Lee, my tip for tonight is Parro. I hope he gets to win. I do too, Ray Lee. He's on his way. And look, there's a great opportunity for Liam Parro to get a world title shot with what happened on the weekend with Donovan Crocker. Who won that one? Was it Donovan? Crockett, I don't know. I can't even remember who won. There you go. It was a rematch. Still having a chance to even look over all that. But he's in line if he wins tonight to be right up in the rankings for that. So if he wins tonight, quite possibly could be a world title shot on the line. Ray Lee, I read Tim is going to the US for his next training camp. Yeah, he's going to live over there from what I've sort of gathered there, Ray Lee. He's going to probably move to Vegas, I would think. Brian, great vlogs in USA. No Limit would also get more money from Fox contract, wouldn't they? Yeah, thanks, Brian. Yeah, no, what they would do, so those No Limit on Fox events, they would probably get, I'm just guessing, probably maybe $150,000 or something just to put those on, and then that pays for the whole card, which is why they're free, which is still a fair bit of money. When I did the NBS, so the National Boxing Series with Dean Lonigan, I think we might have got 125, but that had to pay for everything. They paid for the production, but that had to cover all the fights we had on the card. So they do get money from Fox, but when it comes to pay-per-views, Brian, they just split it. So as I said before, if there's 500,000 gathered, 250 goes to No Limit and 250 goes to main event. I'm not sure how it works with the big, like, Tim Tszyu fights. I mean, you do your sums, what is it, $70, I think it is. No, who knows? They might get 50,000, or even say 25,000 buys. I'm just being conservative here. Times 70, that's 1.75. So that would mean that it would be 875 each. So I'm not sure whether it's a tiered system. I don't know, but normally it's half and half. Yeah, someone's ending up on the floor every time Jacob NG fights. He's a good fighter. He's all action. Richard, end of round 4, by the way. Paul Ken is excellent at analysing boxing and knows his stuff for sure. Yep, I agree there, Richard. Naz, Daly Robinson has got is that Desley Robinson? Has got her first MVP fight in Texas on October 18th. Glad to see her get paid. If anyone deserves it, she does. Yeah, I'm with you there, Naz. She's done it the hard way. And isn't it funny, though, Naz? This is Australian boxing with its head up its ass as usual. Haven't seen barely anything about her fight there. We're hearing all about Sky and Ebony Bridges, and I know Shanika Johnson deserves it. She deserves the attention. She's undisputed. But all those other girls getting all the news. I think even Kay Scott got some spot on Oz Boxing. I haven't really seen much on Desley Robinson at all. It's ridiculous. Oh, sorry, Naz, you've corrected yourself there. Sorry about that. Is this Papot as good as his record? No, Aki, he's nowhere near as good as his record, but he can fight. Only 5 knockouts in 30 wins, so not a big puncher, but you'll see him tonight. He fights very much like an amateur. Just, the sort of leaning back, in and out, hands down, pokes out the jab, spins off to the side. He'll give Liam some problems, but I think Liam will cut him down, and I don't think he stops him, although it's possible. I think it'll go to the scorecards. Sorry, thanks, Drunken Boxer Crocker. I couldn't remember who actually won. I just skimmed over it the other day. I thought it was Crocker and Donovan, obviously, but all right, Rayleigh. Sean Porter's offered to help Tim Tszyu since he's split. I'm not sure to what the help will be yet. I think what will be, Rayleigh, is just hooking him up with maybe a gym to train at if he's not sure at the moment, maybe some sparring partners. They're a really tight community over there as far as gyms goes. I think I said the other day when I was reviewing my trip over there that we were in Vegas for the week. We went to 3 gyms. Hang on, we're at the Split T, we were at Pound for Pound, we're at Mayweather's and DLX. So we went to 4 different gyms. And a lot of the same people get around to all the gyms, people, same sparring partners. They really do help each other out. A lot of them might fight each other at some stage, but it's a really tight community. It's probably the same as here, but just a lot more variety. So I'd say it'll just be hooking him up with maybe places to stay for starters, and as I said, sparring partners, gyms, all that sort of stuff. So that's probably what he's probably getting at. Hey, we've got a super chat. G'day, Dennis, $5. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. And we're up to 95 people watching at the moment, so thank you to everyone. Must be a lot of people that didn't buy the fight, I gather. Just heating up here, by the way, in round number 5. We've got 1 minute and 15 to go. And he's tough, this O'Shea. I still think Torrella's getting the best of the exchanges, but O'Shea's he's having a crack anyway. Looks like he's slowing down a little bit at the moment as he's on the ropes and Torrella tees off. Yeah, good young kid. Thanks for that, Dennis. Appreciate it. All right, Richard, well done to Tim and great decision. He would have regretted not doing such a move. Yeah, I just hope that was on good terms, Richard, because, I mean, I did hear that he'd unfollowed No Limit and Glenn and Fight Management. He's the Facebook page. Not No Limit, sorry. The fight has been stopped, by the way. Geez, that come from nowhere. 5th round. Yeah, geez, he's not happy, Lachlan O'Shea. They've stopped the fight. The corner isn't happy either. He was taking some punches, but he hadn't been knocked down. Crowd not happy either. That's a tough one. I thought he was actually doing okay, but the referees just jumped in and stopped it. Tony Valcecchio, is that his name? Pretty happy with proceedings, and that is a 5th round stoppage for, hang on, I've got to get his name right here, Darangara Chuella. Good young fighter. So he'll move to 6-0. Lachlan O'Shea will drop to 9-7. And Jacob NG up next in, I think it's only a 6-rounder, is it? 6-rounder. This is what I like about this card, by the way, guys. This is one thing that No Limit have got right. Keep the undercard, or the prelim fights, to sort of 6, maybe 8 rounds. Have the main, oh, geez, he just poked his tongue out at him at the end of that. Keep the undercard to 6-rounders, or maybe throw an 8-rounder in there. People only really, the majority of people only want to see, the top fight. So why throw in all these 10-rounders and everything? I like it. They've got 12-rounder, a 10-rounder, and then they're all 6-rounders. I like it. That's one thing they've done well. Santana fight starts already. No, 2. We've got Jacob NG Louis, and then he's on after that. No, Trey, he will be on next. How on earth is Jazzy Parr versus Maya Solomon on a Sam LeBruna card? Great for Sam, but No Limit missed out on a big one here. Yeah, they did, Naz. I think they also missed out on having Shannon O'Connell and Cooper O'Connell on the same card a few weeks back. And I'm not just saying that because I obviously know them. I just think the publicity and all that they could have got out of that and the goodwill. Will someone help Jeff out here? What's that? I'm watching on TV there, mate. I've paid the $50, so you're going to have to find some other way. No, it's not a lot. It's just a live stream here. Will someone post a link for God's sake? Hang on, I've missed my. Thanks very much, Richard. Appreciate that, mate. $5. But yeah, Naz, I'm with you there, mate. I can't believe that No Limit with some of the fights they've put on haven't looked to get those fights happening, and they haven't really gotten behind women's boxing at all. I don't think, and I know women's boxing's not for everybody, but there's definitely a place for it on the cards, and they've missed a massive opportunity with Jazzy Parr versus Maya Solomon, and credit to Sam LeBruna getting it on his card. Is there another fight on there as well? I won't look it up now. I think there's another good fight on there as well between the females. All right, Flash, just off the back of what others have said already about Tim heading to the US. Yes, I've just been watching a 1 hour interview of Tim talking about moving to the US on a solo trip to rebuild himself. Yep. Oh, Turkey, thanks for joining the live watch along there. We have a 6-rounder with Jacob NG, and then we have a 10-rounder with Liam Wilson, and then I will be commentating the fight. Rayleigh, does these changes in Tim's team mean he's not with No Limits anymore, or just Glenn, not the manager? No, he's still 100% with No Limit, Rayleigh. He's just severed ties with Glenn Jennings. And I think the misconception sometimes is that Glenn Jennings is No Limit, but he's not. He's a management company. He's obviously the head of that, Fight Management. I think it's just called Fight Management Central or something like that. He, it's just I thought he was calling someone else, just calling out his sponsors. So, yeah, Glenn is not part of No Limit. I know it seems like he is because all his fighters fight on there, and maybe he's got a vested interest in some way. I don't know. But, no, just because Tim's changing doesn't mean he's going to change promoters. 2, Turkey. Hang in there, mate. Desi Robinson's fight was harder to find than Desi Freeman. Yeah, mate, it's crazy. Where is old mate Big J? He's gone into hiding. Yeah, he wasn't on the Talking Boxing last night. When was it? Tuesday night. Was it, David? No, I don't know. I haven't heard from him, mate. So I don't know where you can get a stream, mate. So just relax. Go somewhere else. I haven't got a link, guys. What am I watching on? I'm watching on TV there. Disapatis. I'll go to the end here. All right. All right, Ray Lee. All right, I found your US trip interesting, showing the gyms. I was impressed by the young boy boxing and the monkey. That was Shane Mosley's monkey. He takes it around to the gyms with him all the time, apparently. And a really good guy too, Shane was. But his little monkey, yeah. And it was funny, you wouldn't have seen it on there, but he's in his little box there, his little cage. And every now and then it'd be sort of quietish, and you'd hear bang, 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 and you look down, and this monkey's going berserk in the box trying to get out. So, all right, well, here we go. They've got George Rose on at the moment, interviewing him. Let's see what he has to say. All right, let's see. I better not have it too loud. Oh, no, they're going to interview Liam Parro. So we'll keep moving on while he's talking. There was a little 6-year-old Ray Lee doing some really goods in the ring as well while we're there, and of course Cooper sparred really well as well. Bob says, I agree that Barry Michael is a legend and has always done a good job on comms. I agree, mate. He's obviously done something wrong. You think Wilson gets the KO? Quite possible. Drunken boxing. Yeah, look, I watched a little bit of his opponent on YouTube, and it's hard to gauge sometimes because a lot of the competition they fight are just horrendous. And we've seen that a few times, especially with Nikita's opponent and Michael Zarafa's opponent on the last show. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it might go to decision, mate, but a stoppage wouldn't surprise me. I hope so. It means we get through to the main event a little bit quicker. He's got a great record. Not a whole lot of knockouts. All right, where are we? What's that? Normally has it on Twitch. Okay, I don't know about Twitch there, Duncan. All right, I have to say I think Glenn Jennings is a bit unlucky to get the arse. He got him all the big fights. Not his fault. The coach and Tim weren't up to it. That's AI. And, mate, that is one opinion that I agree with. I think Glenn has been really hard done by. And I know a lot of people out there, and I'm not going to say they're wrong or right, whatever, but in my opinion, or the ones that are out there saying it's the best thing he's ever done, I think getting rid of his actual in-ring team was a good idea. I think he really needed to change there, but I can't see what Glenn Jennings has done wrong. And you've got to remember, with all these decisions, Tim would be the one at the end making the final call. It just, again, in my opinion, I know a lot of you will disagree with me out there, but all I think Glenn has done is give him exactly what he's been after, and that is opportunity. And I'll just bring up George here. Oh, he's just talking about Liam Parro, so that's all right. I'm sure it'll come up about Tim. I'm sure he'll play a straight bat and say, well, that's between them. But look, Glenn, for starters in Tim's career, took him all around Australia, including one of my shows. One or two? Yeah, one show. To get him, he got him on the Green Mundine card in Adelaide. He fought in Brisbane. He fought, obviously, in Sydney. got him around the place to get him exposure out there, and got him signed with no limit, got him the world title fights, backed it up. We've got to remember, Tim would have been the one who said, I want to fight. Well, actually, the one thing I'll probably disagree with, the one bit of probably management I think that he probably did drop the ball was the first Fundora fight. On, what was it, 10 days notice, 11 days notice, whatever it was, where he when Thurman pulled out, he accepted Fundora as the opponent. I think no matter what, they should have probably knocked him back. They still had probably Bolchok on the undercard. Who else they have? I think they had a few 154 pounders on there, and they decided on Fundora. They probably should have held their ground and said, no, we don't want to fight him. We've been preparing for a 5'7" orthodox fighter, and now we've got to switch to a 6'5" southpaw. So I thought that was probably poor management. But I think apart from that, Tim would have wanted that fight with not Bolchok, Murtazaliev. He would have wanted that 100%. He would have probably backed himself after the Fundora fight to beat Murtazaliev. And remember, Murtazaliev at the time was not a well-renowned champion. He was seen as the weakest of the 154-pound champions, well, in most circles anyway. So I don't think you could probably blame Glenn for that. He got him the Spencer fight, got him a good win, and then the Fundora rematch came up, and Tim would have been the one at the end that would have said, I want that fight. So I don't know. Technically, it's a manager's position to say yes or no, but Glenn works for Tim, remember? So I don't know. I'm with you, AI. I think Glenn's been hard done by. I think he couldn't have done anything more for Tim. But then again, I also understand from Tim's point of view, why get rid of part of your team when it would be easier just to do a clean sweep and start afresh. And just have a whole new team. So I get that aspect of it. Maybe that's his way of thinking was, hey, this is him talking to Glenn. Hey, Glenn, I love you. You've done a great job, but I really need to do this. I need to, the others are gone. You need to be gone as well. Maybe that was the point of, what happened there. But you get the impression that it's not going to end well as far as relationships goes, because I don't think Glenn saw this happen or coming. He said that tonight, that he seemed a bit shell-shocked about the whole thing, and the fact that Tim's unfollowed Glenn and everything else. Yeah, I hope it's not the case. I really do. I get why he's made the call, but I would just hope that it would be, everyone would be professional enough to move on. But having said that, if you ever get the arse from something, you're not going to be happy with the person that gave you the arse. So what's that? Jake has put on some weight. Yeah, he has, mate. He has. He's up to 154 for this fight. I think he'll go back to probably 147, I would think. I'm with you, Duncan. I'm with you, but each to their own. What is that? Farwa News Boxing. Okay. Won't go 12. Somebody says UMG. Well, we'll see. I hope not. Fathy versus Hunt, the other big on the SLB card. Sam LaBruna card. Yeah, all right. Good stuff. Naz, that'll be a good card. Barry Michael told me in person broadcasters want their own up-and-comers, and he doesn't play by their book. Well, they're doing a shit job, Mr. Sir, but if that is the case, because Barry is one of the best. I'll let you comment amongst yourselves as far as the links go. All right, just a thought. If they're looking for a Croke Park farewell for Katie Taylor, Crocker, who is Irish versus Parro, and then the card would help it sell. Yeah, good call, Naz. Well, they are looking for a big fight for Katie Taylor. Who's she fighting next? Or has she got an opponent? I know they're talking about Chantel Cameron again, but... All right, where's that new... All right. Jason, Jennings taken Tim as far as he can. Change as good as a holiday. Yeah, good call, Jason. Yep. Not going to argue with that. Just my opinion. I just thought he was a bit hard done by. But again, maybe it was just for the best just to go, everyone gone. Jeff, just relax a bit there, mate. If someone's got a link, I'm sure they'll let you know. All right. Hang on, I've gone past a few comments there. Sorry. Jesus, a few in there. What do we got? Geez, we're up to 131 people. Let's do it. Yeah, someone get Jeff a Snickers. Will someone please post a link or tell him where I can get one? All right. All right, Drew. Glenn, now coming into the ring, by the way, is Ricky Nato. I can't wait for Jacob NG coming in. Glenn was extremely diplomatic when interviewed by Megan Barnard after getting the chop. Yeah, he was. He's a lovely bloke, but you could tell he felt deeply hurt. Well, 100%, Drew. I mean, the family. I know for a fact how close they were, and it would have absolutely ripped Glenn's heart out. It really would. And look, I know it's business. But they were family. So, but anyway, I'm not in the inner sanctum. I wouldn't have a clue, but I just think, again, Glenn was pretty hard done by. But who said it before? Yeah, Jason. Yep, change as good as a holiday. Yep. Ray Lee, agree about Glenn Jennings and to why he was the one who got Tim those fights that Tim wanted himself. I do think good decision for a change of trainer. That's the one thing I 100% agree with there, Ray Lee. He needed a new voice in the corner. He really did. All right, so we're in the ring. Ricky Nato. Here comes Jacob NG. Probably the best entrance in all the boxing, if you ask me. Yeah, all right. He's coming out now, I think. All right. Yes. Did you see Brandon Adams beat Bolchuk pretty easy? Yeah, thanks, JJ. I didn't see it, mate. I didn't see it. I had no idea. I assumed Bolchuk won because I didn't even bother to check. Here he comes, Jacob NG. What an entrance. And if you're not from Australia and you're watching, this guy calls himself the Flamingo. He has the Flamingo coat on. Comes out to, do a little dance, whatever the hell it is. Dances and really gets involved. I love it. David, perhaps Tim has some promises from his US connections and wants to move across with an open book. Yeah, maybe, mate. I think, no matter whether you think Glenn got the chop too early or not, whatever, end of the day, I do think it's a bold move from Tim. I really take my hat off to him. It would have taken a lot of balls to do what he did, but it shows that he's 100% committed to giving the next, probably his last chapter, everything he can. So I haven't got a problem with it. As much as I feel for Glenn, because I probably would consider myself a friend of Glenn because he's fought on, he had Tim fight on one of my shows, and every time I go over there when Tim fights, he always comes and catches up. He's been on this show many times. He's a great guy with a heart of gold. He really is. And I really feel for him. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and I totally get that Tim has made this call, and I back it. As I said, even though I'm not totally convinced that Glenn should have got the chop, I understand Tim's way of thinking, and if he thinks that's what's best for him to get everything out of this last part of his career, then I'm all for it. All right, so name 5 people who are no longer part of Tim's team. So Glenn, Igor, Mark Gambon, Dave Barker, and Dr. Bill, but no mention of Chef Omar. Well, he's not going to get the chop, is he? He's not really, he's chef. So Dave Barker. Who's Dave Barker? I don't really know Dave Barker. Japia, is it? None of it was Jennings' fault. Yeah, well, that's my view too, mate. But I also understand those that think otherwise. Pay the $50, Jeff, and keep it clean for Lyndon. Yeah, 100%, Brian. Yeah, no one's stopping you from paying the $50 and just watching it. Robert says, Murtazaliev has become the boogeyman. No one wants that risk for that reward. Yeah, well, is he fighting... no, he's not fighting Lubin, is he? He's fighting Josh Kelly. So at least he's got a fight coming up anyway. All right, Clifton. In the ring at the moment, Jacob NG and Ricky Nato, mate. So I'll give you updates as we're going. I will do more of a commentary for the main 2 fights, but I'll just give you the results at the moment. But hang around if you want like a blow-by-blow commentary of the main 2 fights. I'll do that. Jason says, Timmy spent more time in front of the cameras than in the gym pre-Fundora. Yeah, he did. Dennis, yes, Glenn was very respectful towards Tim in that interview. Seemed at a loss to explain why he was dropped. Apparently, Tim didn't give a real reason. Well, I just liken it to your best friend says they don't want to be your friend anymore, or the girl that you love says, sorry, I'm going to kick you to the curb. That's the look that Glenn Jennings had on his face, and you could hear it in his voice. I mean, he loved Tim, and he loves Nikita as well. Loves the whole Tszyu family. It would have absolutely rushed his... sorry, I'm looking at... It's a Russian thing there. It would have absolutely torn his heart out, and, yeah, not good. Naz would have loved Tim to head over to head over the peace and tranquility of Ireland under Andy Lee, yeah, or get the great sparring with Virgil under Robert Garcia, yeah. I'm with you there, mate. I still think maybe Abel Sanchez or someone would probably be a bit more suited to Tim, but he'll make that call, won't he? Yeah, Robert Garcia turned around Madonna's career, could be a good option. The only thing I don't like about Bob, though, about Robert Bob, is that he's mainly a trainer of Mexican fighters, and that's okay. He's Mexican heritage. It's a Mexican community around him, and that's fine. But he tends to specialise in the Mexican style, which is why Madonna would have fit in really, really well. Tim, I don't think, can fight that way and wouldn't want to fight that way. I'm just looking at someone like an Abel Sanchez for what he did with Golovkin. I know, well, I was going to say they differ in styles, but in some ways they're alike. They don't sort of move their head a lot. They like to stand upright and just sort of hunt you down. So maybe he could be some benefit, but I don't know. Maybe he might go left field and go for a Bomac or someone like that. I don't know, but all right, Nectar, you agree with getting rid of Glenn? I put the blame on him for the no rematch in the first Fundora fight contract. Yeah, it was done so fast though, Nectar, but you're right. They should have ticked the boxes. So not going to argue with that, mate. All right, Jeff, you're gone, mate. You're a peanut. All right, so see you later, mate. Don't come back. All right, Richard, I wonder if Tim just told Uncle Igor what a lot of thinking and need a fresh start. Well, I'm hoping it went down okay, but there's no easy way to tell someone they've got the flick, Richard. Mr. Sir, why are we now paying for average fight cards? What happened to the good old days of a Foxtel subscription, and 99% of these would not qualify for pay-per-view? Your guess is as good as mine, mate. All right, so Jacob NG's rocked Ricky Nato in the first round. Ricky Nato is on the ropes. Geez, he looks big, Jacob NG, for a 154-pounder. He carries the weight really well. I reckon this could be stopped in this first round. He's in the corner. He's not fighting back, and he goes down. And Jacob NG is like, all right, well, 1 minute in. This might be an early night. He's not looking good, Ricky Nato. I've got a feeling he knows. And he's waved it off. His fight's over in 1 minute, guys. There you go. That's what your $50 will get you, guys. Shit. I don't know. Oh, actually, is he injured? No, he's saying he's injured. He's done his Achilles or something. Either way, it's all over. So we've got a little bit of time to keep talking here, guys, because it's probably going to be another half an hour before Liam Wilson comes out. I'm just looking at there. Actually, he did. He injured his left Achilles by the looks of things. He landed on it, and you can see straight away. Yep, he lands on it, and he looks down. He knows something's happened, and he... Yep. All right, well, I take that back just a little bit. It wasn't him taking a dive or looking for an easy way out. He looks like he's legitimately injured. Oh, yeah, you can see he goes back and just puts all his weight on that back foot. And you can see something go. He staggers back to the ropes, can't really defend himself, and the Flamingo just off or unloads and all over. All right, AI, Murtazalia may as well retire or move to 160. Good fighter, but as interesting as a block of wood, brings nothing to the promotion. That's his problem, though, AI, because he's not with a major promoter. He's with the Duvers, yeah. And they can't get him fights. What's that? Jeff Gawley, yeah, you ain't ever coming back in this chat again, mate. You are a dipshit with a capital D. All right. What's this here? I'm looking at some of his comments. I'm a hardcore. Real hardcores don't pay for boxing. Well, you tell them, Jeff. As Rodney Roode would say, you tell them, Scrotum. You know the wrinkles. All right. If you're not from my area, you won't know who Rodney Roode is, but he was funny. YouTube him. All right. We'll go to these comments. I keep going to the bottom for some reason. All right. We'll get to a few comments here. Who won Lachlan Truella? Truella won by 5th round stoppage. All right. There is no truth to the rumour that Tim has hired Dr. Phil as a sports psychologist. Thanks, Drew. I love NG. He's a top kickboxer. Is that right? I didn't know he was a kickboxer. That throw that got him disqualified was just muscle memory. Yeah, that's right, against Billy Dibb. Imagine Tim with Jayapatai's work ethic and what is that? Hunty Valley? I don't know. I can't understand what you're saying there, mate. But all right. Anyone that it's in the chat, remember there is no link, and it's not a live stream. All right, we've got the two mains to go here, guys. Wilson versus Santana update coming up next, John. Stay tuned. Do you think Parro and Wilson win by points or KO? I think Wilson might win by stoppage, and I think Parro wins on points. But I think either way they win, mate. Both guys win. Yeah, it was an unfortunate injury there for Ricky Nato. Yeah, so and I apologise. I thought he'd laid down, but he didn't. It was an injury, so I didn't mean to put that assumption on there. All right, Cal Jane, what do you got there? There's no friendship in business. Glenn did a good job, but time for out with the old, in with the new. At least Tim doesn't have to retire yet. Yeah, good call, Cal. Good call. Look, either way, I think we can all agree it would have been an extremely hard decision, and I've got to admit again, I didn't think Tim, let's just say, had the minerals to make that decision, and he has. So that shows me that he's fair income, and let's hope it bears fruit for him. Yeah, speaks well, Jacob and Jeannie. Look, he looked like he carried the weight really well. All right, Dennis, do you think a change of team can get enough improvement out of Tim to get him back to the top level? Yes. Hang on. Yes and no, Dennis. Yes, making the change can get improvement. The question is how much improvement, and will the improvement be enough to make him competitive at the top level? I'm just going to take my top off here. It's a little bit warm up here where I am at the moment. I've shut the doors of the room and we've got this central heating, and all of a sudden it's getting very warm in here. But yeah, can he improve enough, Dennis? Can he bridge the gap between the Mendozas and the Harrisons to the Fundoras and the Murtazaliovs? Can he do it? Now, I'm going to be honest. I think at 30 years of age, I don't think he can, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'm a proud Aussie. I love our Aussie fighters, all our sportsmen. But I'm only being honest. I have my strong doubts whether Tim has got what it takes at 30 years of age to come back. If he did, I'd be ecstatic. But look, we're not talking about just a division that's devoid of talent. We're talking about the 154-pound division. Maybe, say he goes to the States, and again, I'm just picking a trainer. He goes with Abel Sanchez. Maybe Abel Sanchez says the first thing, right, we're going to 160. I think you've got the size and everything to carry the weight, and we're going to go to 160. Tim has struggled with 154, so maybe it might be, let's take the emphasis off the weight. Let's just make sure you make weight easy all the time, which you would at 160. Let's work on that footwork. Let's move on that head movement. Well, don't worry about the weight. That's the last thing we should be worrying about is while you're in your training camp is bringing your weight down to make weight. Let's use that time that you're worrying about that, and let's improve the defense. Let's improve, as I said, the footwork, the head movement. Let's work on that. I think that's what he needs, and a good trainer might actually say that. They're going to assess Tim, and this is the other thing I said this morning on Walking Boxing. I'm not for Tim fighting this year at all. I think it's a bad idea. I think he should wait 6 months, which will be March next year. Spend 6 months with his new trainer, and let's work on some stuff. Get a couple of easy kills. Work on a few of the things they've been practicing in camp, and let's get it right. Because I also said that again, when an athlete is under pressure or fatigued or the shit hits the fan, they always revert back to what they know. So that's what would happen with Tim, I think, if he fought within 6 months. If he got hurt or whatever, I think you would see him revert back to the wild guy who was just swinging for the fences against Fundora and just getting nailed. I want him to be comfortable in what he's doing. And again, if the shit hits the fan, he's able to stick to the plan, keep his shape, and go forward. So they've replayed this Nikita thing with Michael Zarafa 4 times, by the way. They've got Nikita's reaction, they've got George Rose's reactions, and they're now getting Michael Zarafa's reaction. And I think they had just talking amongst themselves before their own reaction. 4 times the same footage. And all it is Nikita talking to the press. Michael walks past. There's an exchange of words. That is all they've been playing all night. It's stupid. But anyway, what's that? Happy Pride Day, is it? Didn't know that. May, is it? Yeah, Michael's saying it's personal now, even though he said all along it's not personal. Whatever. Is it just me? I'm not excited by that fight. I just think it's a totally manufactured fight. I don't think Nikita really has an interest in it, and I don't think Michael Zarafa has an interest in it. I think it's everyone else in main event and No Limit that have got the interest, but I just couldn't care less. What was that from Rodney? Did I miss Rodney? Where's Rodney? Oh, Rodney. Yeah, Rodney Rude. Rodney Rude. Big hand for Rodney. Don't feed the trolls. No, I won't do that, Bob. I'll just bar him. Look, I'm not a prude, by the way, who bans everyone that swears or whatever, but be respectful to everyone in the chat. Have your say. But, I mean, it was okay for starters. But, mate, no one has a link, okay? I never said I had a link. None of the people in the chat said that. Well, actually, some of the people did say they had a link, didn't they? But, hey, link. No link here. As what's his name? He says in Chopper. Here, no link, all right, for everyone that's watching. Yeah, he is a drunken boxing. Rodney Rude isn't a strange treasure, that's for sure. All right, Robert, been a few years since someone dropped a Rodney Rude reference. Yeah, well, I'm 50 years old now, Robert, so that's what do we got there? So that's just, that's going back to the Rodney Rude era. How funny was he, though, eh? Rodney Rude, a classic. If you're not familiar with Rodney Rude, guys, do yourself a favour. Go to YouTube. Actually, YouTube, I think, hide a lot of his stuff. Go to, I don't know, where would you get it from? I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere, but Rodney Rude, classic. Especially when he'd get on his knees and pretend he was a midget. Or can I say midget these days? I'm going to say it. I don't know. Pretended he was a midget or a little person or a dwarf, whatever it is, and he'd be on his knees, and it was funny. Who would you favour if Bud fought Janabek next year? Good comment there, Gromit. Who would win? I mean, you got to back Bud Crawford, don't you? But, geez, Janabek would be a tough fight for anybody. He fights, to me, he fights so much like Triple G. That'll be a great fight. I think it might be a bit too risky for Bud at this stage, I reckon, Gromit. I'm not sure whether the big money would be there for that. I can't believe, too, by the way, that in the last few days on all the sites, they've been throwing up, he's got to fight David Benavidez or the Canelo fight means nothing. Why? He's a 154-pounder going up to 168. He's just won the titles, and you want him to fight a light heavyweight? This is the thing I'm saying. If David Benavidez was still at 168, you'd say, all right, well, it probably makes sense that if you're the champ, if you want to stay at 168, you got to fight David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a 175-pounder talking about going up to 200 pounds. And all of a sudden, Terence Crawford, his win over Canelo doesn't mean as much because if he doesn't fight David Benavidez, are you kidding me? And they throw in Beterbiev and Bivol and Morrell as well. They're all light heavyweights. Why are we even talking about it? And I know that Canelo, let's say, ducked Benavidez, but that's Canelo and Benavidez, not Crawford and Benavidez. And to talk about someone, being maybe his win being tarnished or his title-winning fight being tarnished because he doesn't want to fight David Benavidez, he's a light heavyweight. Anyway, I just don't get it for sometimes. All right, we're up to 144 people watching. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Jesse saying Tanner can move. Liam doesn't do well with guys who move. Yeah, good point, but he's not a big puncher either, though, Jesse. I don't know. I hope we get a good fight, but do you think the Parro fight goes a distance? Great stream. Thank you, mate. Yes, I think it might go the distance there. If there is a stoppage, it might be rounds 10, 11, something like that. What is it Pride Day, my mate? I don't know. Didn't Parro already win? No, he didn't, mate. One more fight until he's on. Win Papot match. Papot will not win. Flavius. What's that? Google says he won by knockout in the 6th. Geez, hang on. Have I been ripped off here? Let me have a look. No, surely not. No, nothing on BoxRec at the moment, mate. So I don't know what Google's telling you, but I'm watching it live apparently. So the game has begun. Well, sort of there, Tristan. Yeah, all right, mate. You, Charlie, whatever. You are a peanut too. You're out of here. You are a dipshit. Look, the internet these days, guys, fair income. There are some real pieces of shit in the world, I can tell you. Ricky lost, mate. I think the referee stopped it. So, he did stop it, but I don't think it was ruled an injury, no, or an injury stoppage. I think he was stopped. I did see this, Mr. Sir. Jeff Fennick just put his case to Coach Tim and Nikita on Fox Sports News. Yep. Didn't go down well, though, Mr. Sir, did it? A lot of people telling Jeff to get back in his box. He did say that if he was in the corner, he'd beat Sebastian Fundora 10 times out of 10. So a pretty bold statement from Jeff. Parro paying $1.08 for the straight win. Wilson paying $1.07 for the straight win. And this event is a pay-per-view. I'm with you, Matt. I'm with you, mate. I don't get it either. Surely if it's a pay-per-view fight, it should be worst case 60-40, shouldn't it? But no, I'm talking about percentages. Double G, how are you there, mate? I don't think I've heard from you for a while. Head dived in and went straight to the bottom of the pool. The interviewer asked what happened. Head. Yeah. It's a in-house joke there, Double G, isn't it? If you don't know, what was the one about the dartboard? It's only a head. He's got no arms and legs or body. He's just a head, and he wants to play darts. Am I allowed to say that these days in this political correct world? So he says, "Put the dart in my mouth and throw the dartboard at me." Oh, jeez. And that one there that you're referencing there, yeah. The head dived in the pool. Sunk straight to the bottom, and he said, "I got a cramp." Oh, what a classic! Oh, jeez. All right, we'll move on. All right. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Got the tears going now. All right. Let's change the subject. Like who and how? Yeah, an AFL player on the panel. Hang on. Whose fault was that? Who got me laughing? You're a shocker. All right, let's move on. Here, no link. That's exactly right, Kane. Jason, it's Australian boxing. There's no links. Yep, they are. Oh, is that right? You can't get Australian links. Yeah, that's Neville Bartos, wasn't it, Matt? Yep. Here, no link. All right, there's Shadow Boxer. How are you there, mate? What's that? Pac-Man versus Bud? Oh, come on. Who won? They didn't fight there, mate. Just I don't know what rock you've been living under, but they haven't fought. All right, Brian. This is Rodney Rude. Let's save the Rodney Rude jokes or else I won't get through it. Yeah, he did want to go to the toilet because he'd be ready for you. Yep. Yep, no worries, Jason. Yeah, look, as I said, mate, I'm not trying to be a prude. I'm just trying to be professional. That's all. And I know a lot of sites will let you do and say what you want, but which I like, but let's just be professional. I'm trying to, so if you're in the chat, try and be as well. All right, just stop with the Rodney Rude jokes. All right, it was my own fault I brought it up, didn't I? All right, Drew, there's a Rafa Nikita beef, yeah? It's completely contrived. If the fighters do eventually partake in a beef to build a fight, it would essentially be created and manufactured by the media. They're going to have a hard time getting Nikita to play ball, I reckon, Drew, because he doesn't want a bar of all that stuff. What's that? Bet 3-1 on the other day on Crawford. Okay, good stuff. I put money on for a stoppage, Matt, and I was pretty happy when he started to really tee off in the later rounds, but he couldn't get the job done. All right, combat. All right, the boys are in the ring, by the way, so keep the comments coming for another few minutes. I am going to more give a blow-by-blow for these fights. This is Tim needs a coach that will tell him what he may not want to hear. Fundamental head movement and footwork. Fundora couldn't miss every time he threw. Yep. Yeah, Rodney Rude. McDonald sketch. Yep. Any Rodney Rude. And Kevin Buddy Wilson. Yep, exactly. Drew, a huge difference between Canelo fighting Benavides and Crawford fighting Benavides. The biggest complaint was Canelo holding the belts hostage and avoiding that. Yeah, and that's why it's different, Drew. And that's why should Terence Crawford bear the brunt of all that and the pressure? He's the champion, and David Benavides is now at 175. So why is it even in the conversation? I know Turki Al-Sheikh brought it up, but yeah, I just think unless David Benavides comes back to 168, forget about it. What's that, Dennis? I didn't see your review, but did you think Canelo was predictable and a bit pedestrian against Bud? Where to for Canelo now is, yeah, I didn't do an actual review, Dennis. I did it after the fight and on Walking Boxing, but yeah, he kept leading with that big left hook, and he just kept being easy to read. It wasn't a great fight from Canelo, Dennis. I didn't think he fought well at all. All right, so Liam Wilson in the ring now. Shadow Boxer, I actually thought Abel Sanchez might be a good fit, mate, but I also know that he's getting on in years as well. So I would maybe something out of left field. Brian McIntyre, look what he's done with Bud. I know Bud's a generational talent, but something a little bit out of just a little bit left to centre, I would think, could be what he goes for. I can see 2 early finishes here. Blatant mismatches for a pay-per-view, main and co-main. Yeah, we'll see. What is it? 9 o'clock. So, all right, David. So to simplify this, Tim will be fighting 30 years of synaptic plasticity next time he gets hit and finds himself on Queer Street again. I feel better now. Okay. Yeah, Timo Pataya. Yeah. Sorry, CBD Flower. All I can do is a blow-by-blow watch along, mate. Coming up now, Sean's electric repair service. Yeah, Tim and Beaumuck, I'm all for it. Why not? Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll call it time for a little bit here, guys. All 150 of you that are watching, I'm going to do a bit more of a blow-by-blow. We'll call it a commentary, I suppose, of this fight. So they've touched gloves in the middle, and we're about ready to go for round number 1. Looks in pretty good nick, does the Dominican Republican. Santana, Liam Wilson. And here's a quick one for you guys. Those gloves that they're wearing, we actually bought them when we were over in Vegas and brought them back for Santana. We got a message from Glenn Jennings saying, well, hey, we need some winnings gloves and we need them ASAP. So we went around the corner and bought those gloves that Santana is wearing. So there's just a little bit of insight for you. All right. So they've started round 1, 30 seconds in, and Liam Wilson takes center ring. Santana on the outside. Just having a good look at Liam. He's looking, Liam looking quite aggressive here to start. It looks like he wants to make a statement. Tries a right hand to the body, but Santana actually came back with a sneaky little right uppercut in return there. He looks okay, does Santana. It looks like he's got okay skills. There's a double jab. A jab back from Liam Wilson. The next fight there is going to be Liam Parro there, guys. So, no, we can't show it there, Rods. So now it is Santana coming forward with the jab. Liam Wilson just happy to take them on the gloves. The gloves cost $1,500, Robert. Yes, $1,500 for a pair of winnings gloves. There's a little right hand that misses and a left hook to the body that misses from Liam. Looks like a well-balanced type of guy, does Santana. A good head movement. Looks like he's got good footwork. And Liam just having a little bit of trouble sort of getting to him at the moment. I mean, it's only early. We're only halfway through the first round. And Robert, have you got Grant's gloves at the fight shop? We're more like $2,500. And Santana unloads on Liam Wilson there. He took it well on the gloves and elbows. And Liam coming forward. What's that? Boxy the Space Dog? Someone in. What'd they do? They advertised it and didn't show it. Well, that's not very good. Yes, Robert, that's true. And Liam Wilson almost slips over there. He missed a big left hook, but he takes centre ring again. And Santana's, no, 1,500 Australian, Robert. It was about 950 or 1,000. I think it might have been 950 or something US, but with fees, charges, all that sort of stuff, it was $1,500. And Liam Wilson had to pay for the gloves, I think, not low limit. And he'd say Santana would probably be putting him in his suitcase on the way home. Yeah, he does, Bob, doesn't he? You're watching it as well, obviously, with me. I'm probably about 30 seconds behind you, by the way. And Liam Wilson unloads on Santana on the ropes, and Santana comes back. Some real good action here in the first round. They exchange hooks and uppercuts. Good first round from both guys. And Santana giving as good as he gets. Some good inside work as the bell ends for round number 1. Some really good work from both guys in close there. And Santana looks like he's going to be a tough nut to crack tonight. He looks the goods. Uppercut and hooking in close. And Liam, he looked like he had the better of it, but Santana comes straight back. So, what's that, Oreo? It's going to be probably about 45 minutes to an hour, mate, before it comes on, unless there's a knockout. What's that? AI Turkey, was he hinting at Canelo versus Benavides rather than Crawford? Yeah, he might have been, because he did say, yeah, could he make 168? So really good right hand landed from Liam Wilson, but Santana, he dug in and come back with some really good shots of his own. Yeah, I'm with you there, JP, is it? Yeah, didn't come to lose for sure. He looked really good in that first round. Both guys landed some really good uppercuts and hooks. And it looks like we've got a fight here. And that first round could have went either way. I'm going to put on the Aussie tax and give Liam Wilson the round, but wouldn't be surprised if Santana won it either. All right, round number 2. Liam Wilson takes centre ring again. Santana on the move with some good jabs, head and body. He's got good speed. I like it from Liam as well. He's a little bit more head movement than what he normally has as well. Good left rip to the body lands as well. And it looks like Liam's really intent on getting a stoppage here, but Santana, he's all right. You want to fight? Then let's go. So Santana on the move at the moment. Liam Wilson trying to cut the ring off, both balking and feinting each other. Not a lot of punches thrown just yet. And a good little right uppercut lands in close from Santana. It was nice. So a minute down in round number 2. Yeah, good work to the body from Liam Wilson. Is that right, Jason? Yeah, have you got a VPN? Yep. I always have one when I travel overseas so I can watch the football and everything back here. Round number 2 for those that are watching, halfway through, and a good left rip to the body from Liam Wilson. Another uppercut in close. And Santana, look, after a really good first round, look, he still looks okay, but just looks like he's slowed down just a little bit. I hope he hasn't punched himself out in one round, if that's possible in a pro fight, but he hasn't really done a lot in this round. Yeah, Gromus, he looks okay. It's whether he can hang in there for 10, because Liam Wilson looks intent on a stoppage here, and that left rip to the body is landing. And it's the same combination. It's a 1-2 and a left rip to the body, and he's landed about 3 or 4 times this round. And you get the impression at some stage he's going to land a good one once as the fight goes on. When does Matteo fight? I'm not sure when he fights next there, Hunter, but is he capable of winning a world title? In my opinion, no. I like him, but no. And Santana lands a good left uppercut and a right hand as well. I don't really like Liam's got his left hand just pouring out in front of him, and it's allowing himself to be a little bit open. With 30 seconds to go, Santana has opened up a little bit more, but I still think it's been a Liam Wilson round so far. And there's another 1-2 and another. He did try the rip there, but it hit his elbow. Looks like this is going to be a tough one. Little uppercut inside from Santana. Goes to the body as well. And good shots landed from both guys. As we come to the end of round number 2. And there it is, the end of round number 2. And I thought, no, Ricardo, he hasn't fought yet, mate. It's coming. Yeah, Bob, some really good body shots from Liam Wilson. I gave him that round. I thought for the first probably 2 minutes, he was the only one really putting it on Santana. But Santana came back, but I think, Liam did enough to win that round. What's that, Drew? I know in the real world life isn't a charity and boxing is a business, but this Parro fight really should have been a non-pay-per-view on Fox. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. Wasn't the last fight with these two guys, and I think that was free, wasn't it? Which surprised me because then they had one of Sam Goodman's fights as a pay-per-view. So, and Jarvis and Thurman too. Jesus, fair income. All right, so they're showing the warm-up, or Liam Parro in the change rooms at the moment. Looks like he's going to wear black trunks with gold or yellow piping and writing on his trunks. He got yellow gloves on there? I think he has. Yeah, Ryan, he was supposed to be on this card, Paul Alcuso, but his opponent, I think he had 2 or 3 different changes. They tried to get Benny Hussein as his opponent. They just couldn't come to terms, so he's off the card. I'll get to your question in between the break there, Hunter. All right, into round number 3. And Liam Wilson takes centre ring again. And Santana, like he did in the last round, just on his toes. Those hands are just starting to drop a little bit for me, though. It looks like he hasn't got the same pep as he did in the first round. There's a good left uppercut lands from Liam Wilson. Looks like he's found his range. He's really starting to put the pressure on Santana. Right hand and a really good left hook rip to the body. And a double uppercut inside with his left hand was Liam Wilson. Good shots. And both guys now. And Santana comes back with some good body shots and a right hand over the top lands. Left hook from Liam Wilson. Good shots being thrown by both guys. Really good shots being thrown. Aaron, yes, I would. And this is going to be a bruising fight, you can tell. And Liam Wilson's never in a dull fight. Yeah, I'm with you, Gromit. He probably needs to be a little bit more conscious of the punches coming back at him because he's throwing really good punches. It looks really slick, but he's standing there and letting Santana just unload in return. And he's taken a few. There's a left uppercut lands inside from Santana. This is where Liam's got to keep his composure because he does tend to just sort of freeze on the spot. And I'll tell you what, if they wanted a quality opponent for Liam Wilson, they've got one. Right hand, good right hand from Liam Wilson there. Right uppercut inside from Liam Wilson. It's a good fight so far, Bob. I just get the impression watching it that as another left rip to the body from Liam Wilson, I get the impression as the fight goes on that Liam Wilson's going to probably those body shots are going to start to hurt. And I think this could end in a stoppage, even though Santana's been super competitive so far. On main event, Marcelo, or is it Marcelino? Main event or KO or an illegal stream. Uppercut inside from Santana. He's on the ropes at the moment. Liam Wilson lets him off the ropes with 15 seconds to go. Is it 140 combat? I wasn't sure of that. Well, isn't he looking for a world title at 130? Good shots from both guys. Again, they exchanged uppercuts and hooks. And Santana, good end of the round, but I'm still going to give that to Liam Wilson. You got to, if the rounds are close, you've got to put the Aussie tax on there. Now, who asked about before with the who do I think is Aussie world champions in the making? It's a tough call. I don't think there's many out there. I really don't. Capable of winning world titles. I think the Maloney's will get another shot, but whether they've still got it at 34 years of age depends on who they fight, of course. I don't think Sam Goodman's going to be able to win one. Jury's out on Liam Wilson. Depends on who he fights, but doubtful. Tim Tszyu, I think's doubtful. I think it's Jai Pataya. And I don't like to say that. I think it's the cupboard's a bit bare as far as legitimate contenders for world titles in Australia. I think there might be a few that might fight for world titles, but actually win them. I don't know. Liam Parro, of course, but the welterweight's a pretty strong division. This is for the WBO 130-pound title, by the way, whoever asked that before. If it was 140. It says on BoxRec it's a 130-pound regional title, WBO. All right, round number 4. And let's see if it stays the same as it has been for the last few rounds. Good jab's been thrown by Liam Wilson as he takes centre ring again. He's not doing a great job of cutting off Santana. He's really comfortable just to take centre ring and let Santana move. He sort of waits for Santana to slow down and then he sort of pounces on him. But he's a pretty tricky guy, this Santana. John, I'd have it, even though the rounds are being close, I'd still give him all the rounds so far. Yeah, Bob, he does seem intent on a stoppage, and I think he might get it as the rounds go on. G'day, Carl, the boxing kangaroo. Welcome to the show, mate. Yep, let's go to Liam's. I don't know. Again, I don't know when he streams there, guys. Yeah, Zachary, I think we've got a lot of Aussies that may fight for titles, but tough to win them. All right, so nearly halfway through round number 4. A little bit quieter round to start. Another really good left rip to the body from Liam, and you've got to wonder how many of those can he take, because I just get the impression he's going to end up really starting to get through with them, and it could be lights out. And I just see maybe a body shot ending this at some stage. And he's throwing some good jabs as well. And Santana just looks like he's slowing down a bit. His hands have started to drop. He's now on his toes. And just looks like maybe his sting's gone out of him a bit. Although he does call Liam Wilson on there. But sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish for. He did actually turn to southpaw there as well. So I've got a minute to go in round number 4. And you get the impression that Liam Wilson's starting to get on top here. Good body shots, though, from Santana. Good point there, Robert. Oh, nice right hand from Liam Wilson lands. Yeah, he's a difficult division there, Jethro. So we're in just a bit of a lull in this 4th round. We've got 30 seconds to go. Pretty dominant round, I think, from Liam Wilson so far. There's a right hand. Left hook misses, but he goes to the body. And a left hook. Beautiful left hook drops Santana. And this fight could be over. That was a ripper. It was a right hand, left hook combination. And down goes Santana. Ripper shot. He looks very unsteady on his feet. And the referee has stopped the fight. It is all over. Beautiful punching from Liam Wilson. Set him up. Was a set-up right hand, left hook to the head that he's done so many times. And if you've probably seen this on YouTube, but look at Liam Wilson's fight when he fought a my card back in 2020. He fought a guy called I think it was Quadras. I think he's not Quadras. Give me a look. Go and check it out. Similar punch, right hand, and then a left hook just knocked him out cold. It was from Colombia, I think. Where was it? Jesus Quadro. Go check it out. It was from 2020. And he knocked him out in the 5th round. Similar punch. Right hand to the head, left hook, and then all over. And he missed the first left hook. Just watching the replay now. So there's a left hook to the head. That was the one that put him down. Beautiful left hook. You got to watch that hook because it just whips in. So it was a right hand to the body and a left hook to the head. Yeah, beautiful punch. Hit him right on the temple and down he goes. So that's it. Round number 5. Or was it 4? I think it was 5. All over. That was a ripper left hook. Hit him right in the temple. And he set it up beautifully as well. Right hand to the body and then just come over the top. Beautiful shot. What's that? Carl Terramona is a while off a world title for now. Yep, sorry guys, I've probably missed a few of your comments there. It is over, all right, Bob. Yes, Daniel Wilson just knocked him out in the 5th round. Beautiful left hook. Nice one, Mr. Damage. Let's go, says, is it Simo or Simo? That was a good shot, really good shot. What else we got going on here with the comments? Liam's combos have always been class. His defence hurts him at world level, says Chris. Yeah, you are right there, Chris. He has been let down on those big fights by his defence. And I was at the Valdez fight in, where was it, Phoenix. and his two little kids there. And I remember just being there thinking, oh my God, this, and you would have seen it on TV, of course, but those uppercuts and rips and everything from Valdez in close. And he got almost sort of like rooted to the spot, and he just couldn't move his head. That's the problem. And he's got to probably take that stubbornness out of his game as well. And I was really impressed by that performance, and by, he looked a lot more sort of patient, didn't allow himself to get sort of caught up in a firefight. Even when Santana was really going back at him hard, he kept his composure. Still a little bit of work to do on the defense, but still looked okay. Yeah, Bob, looked good. The obvious question against elite opponents is he gets hit easily, though. Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, drunken boxing. It was a beautiful left hook, wasn't it? Daniel, I have got, of course, Liam Parro. He'll win. But not an easy fight. Chris, Liam's combos. Oh, yep. So I think I got your comment before. I'll go back a little bit and see if I've missed a few there. So interviewing Liam Wilson now. Terramona. Yeah, I'm not sure about Terramona yet. He's got to fight someone with a pulse first, mate. Callum Pease they talk about, but again, no opposition. What's that, Carl? I'll go back. Oh, yep. How was the Canelo Bud fight? It was awesome, Carl. To be in the arena with the production the way it was, like 70,000 people going nuts. I've said a few times they had wristbands on everybody, and even if you didn't have it on your wrist, you could just sort of hold it up, and it was obviously controlled by a central computer or whatever, and your lights would turn. Your wristband would turn certain colours, and you look around the stadium, and it was just amazing. It might turn red, and it's blue, and it's green, and then it's whatever, and they made the American flag out of the wristbands, and I think the Mexican flag as well, and yeah, when they sort of flashed, and it was just amazing. And then the TV screen, it was actually I think it's a bit too big though, the big screen, because you sort of keep finding yourself watching the screen. But just to be there for the atmosphere was crazy. What's that, Hunter, Jai, Undisputed Cruiser and Heavyweight, if you can beat Moses Otama, juicy future fight? Yeah, it would be. What's that, AJ, 14-1? I'm not sure what that is there. So you obviously asked a question. Sorry about that. I think Akuso has the potential to win a title, but he doesn't fight enough. It's a shame because he's so skilled. That's Ryan. Yeah, I'm with you there, Ryan. Look, it's not his fault he didn't get a fight this time out. He was ready to go, and unfortunately, it just fell through. And I really felt for him because he's been out of the ring since, November last year. So I'd really like to see him back. But yeah, he'll get his chance. I'm glad he's back with No Limit because I'll give him opportunities. So. What do you got there, AI? Inoue, Picasso, Nakatani, Hernandez, Tarashi versus Garcia. They're all the fights coming up, are they? I think they are. Is Picasso, is that December? I think it is. Huni can't hit hard enough. Watch what Parker does to Wardley. Yeah, I think Parker will win that fight pretty comfortably. What's that there? Night of the Samurai in Riyadh. You'll love it. Okay, I'll check it out. All right. No link, Jian. What? Oh, good question, Dennis. What chance do you give Thurman of upsetting Fundora? Hey, we're going to be out of here by after about 10. It's only 9:15. Probably 10 o'clock, 10:15, the way we're going. Yeah, I'll give him a good chance, Dennis. I think he can win that fight, Thurman. You would think that, based on form and activity and everything, that Fundora would be sort of a shoo-in. But I just think style-wise, I think you're going to get Thurman, who's going to be a lot more difficult for Fundora than maybe what Tim was. I think he's obviously a really skilled guy. He's got really good head movement, really good fast hands. Not really a puncher, but I don't think that matters. I think he'll give Fundora problems. Fundora has improved a lot, though, from when he first beat Tim. So I think the title has made him walk a bit taller. I'd still back Fundora, but I would not be surprised if Thurman gets the win. Richard Torres called out Moses Otama. Who do you think of the young guys fighting? Probably a bit early though, Jethro. Although I remember back in the days, used to get the really good heavyweights would fight each other. So maybe, if one of them loses, well, it's just a setback, and and they go again. But yeah, I'd love to see that fight, mate. I'm sure we'll get it at some stage. Oh, was that Liam called out Cambosis? Okay, still wants that fight. KL, the game is now. Yes, the game is now. Carl Thurman can fight off the back foot. He could be all wrong for Fundora. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Carl. He's got the style that could make life really hard for Fundora. Really hard. But again, I'm going to stick with Fundora, but yeah, it's a tough fight. A really good fight. What's that, Jethro? I think the young heavies should be fighting each other now and not waiting. Yeah, look, and that's the thing. As I said, like back in the day in the 80s, and especially obviously before that, when they had to fight all the time for money, it was a job. They had to fight each other. But I remember even the 80s, sometimes in the 90s, all those young heavyweights fought each other all the time. And if they lost, well, one just got a bit of a setback and they'd come again. So, but in this day and age, it's just different. You know, it's all about we cannot even risk losing a fight or else, you know, we might lose money, title shots, whatever. And that's why I applaud Joseph Parker for letting Fabio get a shot at his rankings. I think it's really good from Parker. Hopefully it works out for him. I'm a big fan of Joseph, or Joe. But yeah, I applaud him for doing it. What do we got here? Drew. Yeah, good call there, dude. Next person to ask for a link gets a flush Gallotta ball punch. Yep. Well, we've got 189 people watching at the moment. Jerian can see Thurman cracking Fundora with a big bowler right hand. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he's going to have an opponent in front of him, just Fundora, who is not just up and down like Tim was. And even Mendoza. I know he ended up getting caught by Mendoza, but Mendoza's certainly not a special fighter. Tim, obviously, a lot more skilled than Mendoza, but that straight up and down, and obviously this whole thing of backing straight back in a straight line instead of sort of giving him some angles and everything else. But I think Thurman will give him something he's never really seen. Again, I'm still going to back Fundora, but we will see. Torres gets smoked by Tommy. Yeah, I'd back a Tommy to win that, Hunter, but it would be a good fight. Wilson almost forgot the Rose Brothers' names, did he? Oh, jeez, I can't hear it at the moment, so... Naz, do you think Wilson goes after Navarrete again or Sugar Nunez or back up to 135? Yeah, I'm not sure whether Navarrete would really want another fight with Liam. I know, look, Liam was really unlucky in that fight. We know that. But just because you have a bit of a close call or you get close doesn't mean you automatically get the rematch. And different if they're big names, but unfortunately Liam's not a big name over there, so I would probably doubt that Navarrete would be looking at him because Navarrete is probably on the tail end of his career now, and I just don't think he would want to fight. He only fights, once a year or whatever. And I think, actually, isn't he fighting the Filipino again? Aren't they going to fight at the end of the year, I think it was? I just don't see Liam on his radar, but having said that, there's other champions there. And at 135, yeah, maybe, but geez, you'd have to be in the line for some of those guys, I would think, because the lightweight's a pretty good division as well. But one good thing No Limit are good at, Naz, is getting the fighters opportunity. So I think, who knows, it could be a Sam Goodman situation where we all think it's going to be maybe Navarrete and Nunez pops up, or a lightweight world title fight pops up. You just don't know. But wouldn't surprise me either one there, Naz. Yeah, I didn't hear him speak there, mate, but yeah, from what a few people have been saying, yeah, he has struggled a bit. But I think he's just a really shy type of guy, really reserved. But I don't know. Let's hope that's the case anyway. Parro for me there for the win. No, he didn't fight. Brock Jarvis didn't fight there, mate. He's out with a shoulder injury. Yes, Matt, that is the way of the world. Joe destroys Wardley. I think so too. It started. Not yet, mate. The main event is on its way, I'd say. It is 23 minutes past 9 at the moment. So I would think within the next 10 minutes they'll start their ring walks. Yeah, CL, Wilson just knocked Santana out in the 5th round. Brother. Yes, brother. Stop yelling at me, CL. All right? It's been on, and Wilson just knocked him out. Okay? So stop yelling at me. I suppose when you've got nearly 200 people watching, you've got to expect some to not all be for you. Where's our thumbs down tonight, guys? We've got 52 thumbs up. Normally by now we've got a few thumbs down because I'm not streaming it. But Oh, hang on. Sorry, I accidentally, I almost banned someone there by accident. Liam sounds like Joe Joyce there. What else we got here? King Jodell, is Papot legit or a cab driver? No, look, I think he's legit, King Jodell. I still think Liam Wilson will win this fight quite comfortably, but yeah, he goes all right. You'll see it when it starts. He's got some good technique, good footwork, really well balanced, good kit of punches. Again, not a big puncher at all, but if he's got the fitness and everything to stay, well, to outbox Liam over 12 rounds, well, maybe, but he's definitely skilled. But I mean, Liam Wilson is obviously a former world champion. He's got a lot of talent, and I think he'll be way too much for Papot. Jason Thurman, maybe a few years ago, but Fundora is too smart and too long. Yep. If he wins, Keith becomes 3-time Thurman. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was thrown his last fight there. Asking if Papot is a cab driver is disrespectful. He works for Uber. Oh, jeez. Who do you think Tim will align with? Yeah, I got no idea, Carl. As I've said a couple of times, if I had to pick a trainer, I'd go for someone like an Abel Sanchez. I really like him because he did what he did with Triple G, and obviously Tim fights a little bit similar to Triple G. But you never know. As I said before, he might go out of left field and go for a Bo Mac or a Robert Garcia. Who knows? I don't think you should go with Freddie Roach though, because I mean we all love Freddie, but I just get the feeling that he's just not the trainer that he was. And Callum Walsh on the weekend, he was shocking. I know that's not all Freddie's fault, but I don't know. I'm not sure whether he's just going through the motions these days, and I think he needs someone a little bit younger. Anyway, we'll see. I'm sure he'll make his decision. He'll talk to a lot of people, and there'll be no shortage of people that'll put their hand up anyway. Watching from the Philippines. Good stuff there, mate. Yeah, I'm with you, Bobby. He has always talked a little bit that way. You can tell he's very uncomfortable with the mic in front of him. So, yeah, I don't want to jump to assumptions about different things, but all right, Drew. A lack of head movement from Tim in his last fight seemed alarming. That probably should be one of the first things a new trainer should try and fix. Your thoughts? Yeah, I'm with you there, Drew. And that's why I'm all for Tim not fighting until sort of March or April next year. Take your time, work on all these different things. As I said, get a couple of softies in there that you can practice this stuff on. I really don't want him to jump into a big fight too soon. I know No Limit will want to put him in with one because that's their business, of course. But I know also he has the final, so I get that. A few people have pointed out that, well, it's not No Limit's call, it's Tim's call, and I get it. But I just hope he has a couple of quick sort of, tomato cans, as they call them. I know that's a little bit disrespectful, but very beatable guys, I'll say. And then jumps up from there and just works on a few things with his trainer. So spend 6 months with his new trainer and then get a couple of sort of easier fights to practice that sort of stuff. And maybe at the end of next year, I know it's a long time away and he'll be 31 by then, or maybe they do the other thing and they roll the dice and say, well, you've only got a few years left, so no, you need to do it now or never. I don't know, but there's some big calls to be made. He has made the biggest call of all so far, though, and that is parting ways with Glenn and Igor and the team. So who knows? Maybe he'll want to move quick, but worst case, even if he does take a bigger fight first up, at least spend 6 or 7 months with the new trainer. But you're right there, Drew. The lack of head movement was striking in that Fundora fight. Peter Bedell talking about Garside and Redder for Wilson opponents. No, that's not going to happen. Peter, what are you thinking, mate? I thought we'd spoken about this. Do your research, mate. Liam Wilson is ranked in the top 5 of a couple of organisations. He's not going to want to fight an unranked Harry Garside or a novice in Ahmed Redder. So, Peter, relax, mate. Give me a call tomorrow if you're watching this afterwards. Give me a call and I'll set you straight. Why would a world-class fighter on the cusp of a world title fight an unknown and unranked and risky opponent in Garside or a just complete novice in Ahmed Redder? That just does make no sense whatsoever at all. Peter, I thought we'd had a chat about this, mate. Listen. That's a silly comment, Peter. Silly comment. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it, mate. Is it come? No, it hasn't come up yet. No, don't do that, though. Doesn't it affect the algorithms or something? I don't know. All right, Matt. Used to follow boxing heavily. Now I don't care as much and have faded out. Grew up watching the greats of the 80s and 90s. Just ain't the same these days with all the corruption and protecting records. Yeah, well, the corruption's always been there, Matt, and always will be. But I'm with you, mate. You're obviously around my vintage, the 50 mark. So, yeah, 80s and 90s, especially the 80s, mate. That, for me, that was... And I suppose the 90s too, but for me, especially the 80s is my favourite era. That's when I obviously fell in love with the sport. And, the days of the heavyweights with Holmes and obviously Tyson and Holyfield and Hagler, Leonard, Duran, Hearns, Chavez and all the greats, Whittaker. Although Whittaker was in the 80s, late 80s. So I'm with you, mate. And I must admit I did lose a little bit of love for the sport too, but it always drags you back though, mate. I'm with you as far as protecting records goes, but the corruption has and always will be there. Geez, Hunter, don't say that, mate. I've paid $50 for this so far. Knockout in round one. Carl, Papot must be a stone cold killer because $70 for this pay-per-view is cheap as chips. It's only $50, Carl, so even better. MMA guy, but like you do on your channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, mate. No, is it Powell? Not yet. It's about to start, mate. The main event is probably about 10 minutes away, I reckon. He's putting on his robe now and his hat, his bucket hat, so not too far away. Parro will go through Papot easily. The French guy has pillow hands. Well, if it did sort of play out that way, Bob, it wouldn't surprise me because the last show was like that, wasn't it? So I was really hoping this show would be at least better than the last show. The last show is probably the worst No Limit show I've ever seen in my life. And I was hoping they would put on a better show this time. I mean, this hasn't been all their fault, by the way, because the fights fell over. We lost Paulo Acuso. We lost Brock Jarvis. But the Liam Wilson fight was okay. That was a good fight. Is that Carl? Trouble is Triple G has a chin. Yep, Tim Stoll is really bad for his chin. Good call. That's what I like about this, and we're having you guys and girls on there because you come out with a opinion, and there's always the comeback like that, mate. So that's a good call. Ben Davidson, not bad, Harry. I like that. Very, very good call. Would Tim relocate to England, though? That's the thing. I see Tim as a USA guy. I think he wants to get to the USA. I don't think he has any interest in going to the UK. So while he would be good, I think the only thing I'll say with that, though, Harry, is that Ben Davidson to me is more someone who is more good for people's fighters' mental state. I know he does a good job in the gym, but he's a real calming influence. He's more of a mentor type of thing. I'm not sure that's what Tim needs. I think he just needs someone to work on his defense, to be honest. But good call. I like it. I don't even know what Twitch is, Duncan. So sorry, mate. My kids have mentioned it, but I don't know. Hey, look, it is what it is, mate. I'm not out there to have 100,000 subscribers. Just doing my thing. All right, it's sad to say, but Freddie Roach has Parkinson's and it's a progressive illness. Yeah, it is, mate, and it has been bad for quite some time. And obviously I know that, but I don't know. I sort of watched him over in Vegas, and I know he hasn't got a Manny Pacquiao anymore. Well, he does actually have a Manny Pacquiao these days, doesn't he? But I don't know. I just look at someone who's just lost a bit of the fire, I think. And you can't blame him. He's been at the top for so long and had so many great fighters, and he hasn't really got anyone. I know Manny's back, but apart from Manny, there's no real stars coming through. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading a bit into it, but update is they're about to make the ring walks, Brian. All right, Mr. Chengo. Liam Wilson's taken too much punishment for the top world class. He eats 10 punches to hopefully land one power punch. Yeah. Go for the upset. I don't know, Brian. We'll see. Not yet, Oreo. Making the ring walks in a second there, mate. Here he comes, David Papo. Thanks, Duncan. Thanks for that. So I'll get a few more comments here. Jeez. All right. Where are we? Oh, yep. 48. Yep. 80s ruled. Yep. What an error it was, mate. The 80s. Jeez. And it was almost better without the internet and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. It's just, don't get me started on the 80s there, mate. What a time to be alive that was. And we didn't know it. We just didn't know it. Canelo Crawford was a total letdown. Yeah, I don't know. Boxy, is it Boxy? Boxy the Space Dog. I don't think so, mate. I don't think anyone, well, I didn't anyway. I didn't expect Hagler Hearns out of it. I thought it went the way I thought it would. But the only thing I was a little bit disappointed in is that Canelo would have had to have known after 9 or 10 rounds he was down, and he didn't really, in my opinion, put the foot down and really try and finish strong or stop Crawford. Maybe Crawford was just too good. I don't know. That was probably the only letdown for me, is that after about 10 rounds, I think we all knew that Crawford was going to win, although he needed those 2 last rounds to get the decision. But I was just a bit disappointed that Canelo didn't really put the foot down in the last couple of rounds. 90s was the last real decade for everything, not just boxing. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. The music, movies. Oh, don't get me started on the 90s either, Hunter. I remember just on Liam Wilson's about it's David Papot. The 90s as far as music. And I go back, I always, if my wife's watching, she'll just roll her eyes here, but I go back to 1991. In the space of a couple of months, Pearl Jam 10, Nirvana Nevermind, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Blood Sugar Sex Magic, Metallica, the Black Album, Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion, Smashing Pumpkins, the Siamese Dream, whatever it was called, Soundgarden, whatever their album was named, within a couple of months. Nuts. And Terminator 2 and all these Point Break and all these great movies coming out. That was in 1 year alone. And, of course, we had all those great bands from the 90s and all the movies coming out. And now who's the best band out there these days? I wouldn't have a clue. All the best bands are the bands from the 90s. Anyway, and there's no movies anymore. Who makes movies unless they're a blockbuster? Anyway, I'll move on. I'll get stuck here. How many pay-per-views do these Aussie shows sell on average? I reckon 5,000 to 10,000, Chris. Not enough, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, Oasis. Yes, Hunter. Yes, Oasis. Who can forget them? I even used to like, the 80s, like Poison and obviously AC/DC and some great bands back in the day. Yeah, Mr. Yep, I'm with you. I didn't think it was a letdown at all. I'll go back here. What do we got? Yeah, Robert Garcia says, Chris, yep, maybe. Best pound for pound in the prime, however long or short it was, Roy Jones for mine, yeah. Was that delusional Crawford fans now think he can beat Bivol? Well, I don't think we won't ever know, mate, because they ain't going to fight, I don't think. Favourite boxer of all time, Shannon Taylor was mine, says John. Wow, there you go. Yeah, he was a good fighter, mate. He wasn't my favourite Aussie fighter. He was actually around just before I sort of made the national team, Shannon. He was at just thinking, it was kilos then, 63.5. I remember he beat Spike Sheeny in the Nationals I think it might have been for the Commonwealth Games. I think they might have sent Spike Sheeny anyway, but he was a very, very good fighter, John. And I actually asked Shane Mosley when we were in Vegas last week about Shannon Taylor, and he said, yeah, no, he was tough. He was a good fighter. You remember that he obviously derailed Shannon pretty early with that big knockdown in the first round, but yeah, he rated Shannon Taylor. Good Aussie fighter, mate. Yeah, my favourite Aussie fighter of all time was got to be Jeff Fennick. But I used to love Lester Ellis. Just trying to think who else there was. They're probably the main ones. Jeff Harding as well. Anyone in the sort of 80s or 90s, mate, they were my favourite. What's that? Chris Eubank will get Bo Mack for the rematch of him and Ben. Okay. He was with Roy Jones there for a while too, wasn't he? Shannon Taylor, I don't know, Mr. Sir. I know he had a few issues outside the ring, but yeah, Tony Mad Dog Miller, John. Used to love Tony Mad Dog Miller. Did a few rounds with him back in the day, and a great bloke. Not fighting, sparring. He was a tough guy. Tough as nails. No worries, Bob. What's that? Way better than listening to the main event host dribble on. Well, I would hope so, mate. And as I said before, they need to get some people on there that just know the boxing. These guys do good as hosts and maybe some special commentary there, but we need some boxing guys in there. As I said, bring back Barry Michael. Casuals don't understand and appreciate that Bud started at lightweight and beat Canelo at super middleweight. Good call. I like it. Keep moving on there. Yeah, crazy. It was if Canelo won the 12th, it was a draw, yeah. Would it surprise you, though, Chris? I was expecting it to maybe be a draw, to be honest. Parro to win within 6 rounds. Parro by decision. Oh, yeah, Jeff Horn would be good there. Choi? Is that Netflix puts on a show? They do, mate. That was awesome. Do you commentate every No Limit event? No. If it's we normally put the fights on at our pub there, Duncan. And if I'm there, we put them on. But no, I don't care whether it's No Limit, The Zone. I don't care what it is. I've done. If you look at this channel, there'll be a hell of a lot of watch-alongs on there that I've done that have been all sorts of different fights. It was Carl, Jeff Harding. Still love the Hitman, and one of my best boxing memories is when he knocked out Dennis Andrews. All right, so they're introducing the fighters now. No worries there, mate. What do we got there? Papot for KO in round 1. Brian, come on, mate. Come on. Can't believe there wasn't a rematch clause for Canelo and Crawford. They don't need one, though, Jason, because if Turki El Sheikh says, Canelo, you're fighting Crawford again, or Crawford, you're fighting Canelo again, you know they're going to fight. They ain't getting that type of money from any other promoter, mate. So being able to move like that all 12 rounds is very impressive. Actually, not many could. Yep. To come up that amount of weight and maintain the pace and everything else that he had, just an amazing performance by Bud Crawford. I'm not going to say I told you so either, because I was Canelo all along until pretty much the day of the fight. Favourite Aussie fighter is Lucas Brown. True elite world-class boxing legend, pound-for-pound talent for sure, and did it all the clean, natural way. Yeah, he was entertaining, Henry. He's still going too, of course. All right, so interviewing David Papot. Thanks, Dennis. All good, mate. It's me listening to you while I watch... hang on, that was an earlier comment. Hang on, where are we? The Frenchman is going to sleep. Don't want to sleep for another 12 rounds. No Canelo Bud rematch. Yeah, it's not for everyone, but I wasn't surprised by the way that the fight went at all, as far as even not necessarily who won, but just the way the fight was fought. As I said, I didn't expect Hagler Hearns. All right, so Liam Wilson in the black and gold with the yellow with the gold gloves. Looks really good at the weight, does Liam Parro at welterweight. And a very good team in his corner as well, by the looks of things, with Alfie DiCarlo and Stephen Edwards, the cut man there. Great guy, Stephen Edwards. And one of the unsung heroes of Aussie boxing, is always in the corners of all the fighters in big fights. What's that, Ryan? I hope Canelo fights Jake Paul. Don't say that. Don't even joke about that. Thanks, mate. You never know one day. No, it's not really on my bucket list, but you never know, being a commentator. All right, Drew, it's crazy that Canelo hasn't seemed to pick up the hint that if he pressed the action near the end of the Crawford fight, he might escape with an undeserved draw. Yep, exactly, mate. How did you think the fight with Bud... How did you think the fight went with Bud Canelo? Went the way I thought it would, Carl. I haven't seen it yet, Shutterbox. I'm going to do it this weekend. Not yet. Sumbag TV. They've introduced both fighters. Both guys in the centre of the ring now, getting the final instructions. So I'll get off the comments and do some blow-by-blow for it. I'm with you, Bob. He's our best fighter after Opataya. Doubt he'll get the hype, though, unfortunately, mate, because, again, the Australian media have their heads up their asses. All right, they touch gloves. Papo gives Liam Parro a little wink and says, let's do it. Starting now, Mocha. Don't stress. I'm about to start commentating, or trying to commentate. All right. So ready for round number one. Just tell you what, Papot's beard's wider than what mine is, or greyer. All right, here we go. I'm watching on TV, Disapartes. All right, so they touch gloves, and I'm going to say no one really takes centre ring. They both have 1 foot each in the centre, both southpaws. Parro in the black and gold, and Papot in looks like black, green, and white. Yeah, good fighter, Julian. And a left hand lands there, and I thought Papot might be on his bike a little bit more here, but he looks like he's going to take centre ring now and stand there and challenge Liam Parro to go with him, which is very unusual for Papot. So they exchange jabs, the two southpaws. Nothing really thrown just of yet. Both jabs to the head. There's a double jab from Papot that falls short. Left to the body from Liam. He does lead with his head a bit sometimes, Liam. I know that Shakur Stevenson wasn't happy with him when they sparred because of his head, and he does tend to do that, actually. He'll come in straight. So both guys just feeling each other out, poking some jabs out there. And nothing more than a jab sort of thrown by both guys at the moment. So what are we, minute 20 in? There's a right hand that lands from Liam Parro. Not bad defence from Papot, though. He sort of took the body shots on the gloves there. And halfway through round number one, jab to the body from Liam Parro. A jab to the head from Papot. Very cautious, both guys, as you can expect in a 12-round fight. World title eliminator. Left hand from Papot just grazes the chin of Liam Parro. He just looks a little anxious to me at the moment, Parro. He just seems to be rushing his punches a little bit. He does land a jab there, but misses the left. And I think we've got a fight here, guys. I think Papot looks pretty slick. Good jabs from both guys there. They both landed a jab each, and Parro jabs to the body. And a nice even round to get us started so far with 40 seconds to go in round number one. And I'm surprised here by Papot. I thought he would be on his bike, but he's actually taken centre ring and is actually backing Parro up. Left hand from Papot. Just over the top. Didn't hit flush, but got to graze the chin a little bit there. You can see that Liam Parro is thinking, okay, this guy's not bad. He's been pretty cautious with what he's thrown at the moment. It's pretty much been his jab to the head, jab to the body so far. As they get tied up there with 10 seconds to go. Good round. Very technical round, but there's a left hand on the bell from Liam Parro, and I think that would be enough to give him the round. So, close round. Papot definitely gave as good as he got, but I think Liam Parro has won a pretty close round there. So, 1 down for Liam Parro. Yeah, love Unlimited. I like that name. Looking sharp and precise he is. I still think Parro won the round, though, mate, but Papot looked okay. He looked okay. So, Ryan, thoughts on Inouye? I think he's a little overrated. Jesus, great offensive, but has been cracked a bit recently. That's at some stage he'll lose, Ryan. Don't worry about that. He'll lose. I'm with you. He tends to be all offense and not much in return. He has been dropped. He's been not so much rocked, but definitely dropped. He's been cut and banged up. Yeah, I think sometimes that can happen when you bomb one guy out after the other. You get a bit complacent, expect it to work, and that's why one day someone might just counter him and might be all over. We'll see. Yep, no link here, says Dennis. Yeah. All right, number 2 coming up, round number 2. And it starts like the last round sort of ended. Papot just... Look, he's going to have to be more active than... Well, there's Parro landing at left hand. He's going to have to be more active. He's not going to be able to just box and move and expect to get to the decision over Liam Parro. He's going to have to engage at some stage. And he is actually taking centre ring at the moment. Just misses a left hand there. Left hand lands from Liam there. And you get the impression that as this fight goes on, Liam's going to get more and more confident. Yeah, he looks very slick, does Parro. Little jab in the left hand that... nice left hand lands. Good left hand from Liam Parro. Although he takes a left hand in return. And Papot's definitely come to win. Regardless of what happens in this fight, he's come to win. He's got good defence, Papot. He has taken a couple there. And we are halfway through round number 2. Geez, nearly 300 people watching. There you go. Hang on, we got any thumbs? No thumbs down just yet. We're doing all right. Papot misses with a left hand to the body. And Liam jabbed to the body and tried to come over the left hand, but he got countered in return with a nice little left hand from Papot. Oh, left hand from Papot. Nice punch. Just got to be careful he doesn't just get careless here, Liam. He's had a little bit of success, but Papot, he's pretty slick and good on the counter. Who looks the bigger fighter? I don't think either one of them look bigger. Maybe just Papot, Dennis. Just a little bit. He is the bigger guy. He's been fighting the welterweight for quite some time. And Liam's just moved up, of course. What are we saying there, guys? Goodman will beat in a way. Okay, all right, yep. Get off the pipe there. All right, 25 seconds to go, round number 2. And Papot getting a little bit more aggressive here. I still think Liam is winning the round, but Papot's been okay. All right, 10 seconds to go. Hands dropping from Parro. A little jab to the body. Yeah, look, not an overly eventful round, but I would say that Liam Parro won that round. Nah, I'm with you there, Kingdom Life. He can't win on points, Papot, if he fights like this. He's going to need to put it on Liam at some stage. The way it's going at the moment, you just see Liam just poking and prodding his way to an easy decision or maybe late round stoppage. But look, Papot's shown something so far, but he's going to have to show more if he's going to win this fight. I don't think he's capable of stopping Liam Parro, and he's got to get a few rounds on the board early, or he's going to be too far behind. So it's a good left hand landed by Liam on the replay there. I wonder if, nice left hand. I wonder if they show Papot's left hand that he landed. No, just the Aussie highlights. But it was a good left hand from Liam Parro. What's that, Carl? You think a shot at Burrows is next in line for Liam? You never know, Carl. I doubt it. But you never. I think more. Was it Crocker? I think would be the target at this stage. I think he sees that as a winnable belt. All right, into round number 3. And Papot coming forward. He's trying to pick up the pace here. And Liam's starting a little bit more confident, or comfortable, I should say. He's snapping out that jab. There's a hook that lands as well. He looks good at the weight, Liam Parro. Looks really good at the weight. It's still a tad small for me, but he'll obviously build into the division. Put a little bit. He's got the obviously put the weight on, but I think you'll see him probably define himself a bit more and put a bit more strength on his frame. All right, so a minute down in round number 3. And Liam having good success with his jab. Papot just missed the counter left hand there. At this stage, he's just a split second off at the moment. And he missed another left hand there. Oh, good left hand, a right hook from Liam Parro there. I don't think he gets much or enough credit for his power either, Liam Parro, because when he actually lands, he can knock you out. Just ask Montana Love or Brock Jarvis. Oh, left hand from Liam Parro lands. Nice left hand. And look, credit to Papot here. He's trying to put it on Liam Parro, but every time he tries to punch with Parro, he ends up getting nailed. I'm with you there. Hasn't lost his speed there. Yeah, kid me. He's got good speed, Liam Parro. And I think Papot is capable, but he just hasn't really been able to nail Liam at all just yet. And you can see that Liam's looking for that left hand over the top, although he does get warned. I thought he should have got warned for hitting on the back of the head there as well. Good jabs from Liam Parro with 45 seconds to go in round number 3. I'm not biased at all, Louis. I'm just telling it the way it is, mate. Liam Parro's doing the better fighting. Left hand lands from Papot. Do you want this, Louis? What a round by Papot. He's just landing left hand after left hand, and he's got way too much for Parro. Is that what you want to hear? I'm just calling it the way I see it. And Parro's getting the better of the exchanges. Good jabs from Papot, though, but I think another round for Liam Parro. No, Emmanuel, sorry, mate. He's not beating his ass. He's actually being countered here by good left hands from Liam Parro. Good jabs, too, from Parro. And that is the end of round number 3. Oh, there we got there. Oh, I think I'll just see if we've got a couple of comments. So, look, there's been some close rounds here, but I don't think you could really make a case for Papot actually winning the rounds. What's that, Kingdom Life? Papot's coming forward. That means he'll get knocked out in the middle rounds. Yep. I don't know. Maybe stoppage could maybe take place, but I just think, look, Papot is a good fighter. I don't think he's good enough to win this fight, but he's capable. I just think he's capable enough of just lasting the distance. That's probably about it, I think. What's that? Claps and Coke. I need Papot to whoop him. I need this bread. Oh, I don't like your chances there, mate. What's this? No scorecard. I just said he's won 3 rounds to 0. Jeez, what do we got here? We've got 300 people watching. So there we go. We've got our first thumbs down. It's taken a while. Is that you, Mocha? I did say he's won 3 out of 3 rounds. Papot won that round. I don't know, mate. Lawrence, I don't know. I still would have given it to... Oh, nice left hand from Papot. You got to remember there's a bit of Aussie tax there, Lawrence. I still would have given that round to Parro. Yeah, it is. Look, a couple of the rounds have been close, but again, if the round is close, you know exactly which way they're going to score the rounds. It's just the way it is. All right, so we're 45 seconds anyway in the round number 4. And again, Papot trying to put it on Liam Parro. And whoever said before, yes, he's probably winning this round so far. But there's still 2 minutes to go. And now Liam Parro coming forward as Papot snaps out the jab. Nice little left over the top from Papot. What's that? Parro in the Philippines is a butterfly. Well, there you go. No one's been wobbled or off balance yet. You kid me? Better round from Papot so far. I'm sure that'll please a few ears out there. A better round for him. Well, Liam's starting to come forward now. He does look a little bit more confident now, just David Papot. He has landed a couple of punches, but he's going to need to win these rounds clearly. If you know boxing, you know that when you're in someone else's country, you need to win definitively. And I just don't think he's done enough to win any round conclusively just yet. Although I was just going to say he landed a good jab, but Liam Parro come back with his own really good jab. Better round from Papot, though. A lot better round. He has been okay in the first 3, by the way. I just think this is probably the first round that I think he's going to win. We've got a minute to go, though, so anything can happen. In the 4th round there, Jason. And so far, I've given Liam Parro all 3, although a couple of them were pretty close, really close. Not well, Carl. Not well at all. I just was talking to him before on Instagram. Of course I'm a fan of Parro, Louis. He's an Aussie. Come on, mate. Are you a fan of Manny Pacquiao? Just asking. Of course you are. All right, 25 seconds to go in round number 4. Round number 4. And look, so far, with 15 seconds to go, I think I'm going to give this round to Papot. Nice left hand. Whoa, another 1-2 from Papot, and he's got Liam hurt. Left hand on the ropes. Another left hand from Papot, and Liam Parro holds on. Great round from David Papot when he won that round clearly, and Liam Parro goes back to the corner on unsteady legs, and his right eye has suddenly just ballooned. So all of a sudden, in the space of 10 seconds, Liam Parro is in trouble. So he got hit with the left hand and wobbled. He tried to go with Papot and got nailed again. His right eye is swollen, and that already is going to look like it's going to swell shut. And he got wobbled right on the bell. Yeah, the beard there, TLC. Lawrence, yes, he's doing great. And as I said, I thought I'm just watching the replay here. Oh, beautiful left hand from Papot lands, and another 1-2 landed. Liam retreated to the ropes. He tried to punch back instead of holding. He got nailed with another 1-2. Beautiful punches from Papot. And they hurt Liam Parro, and he was in trouble. And the bell, at the end of the day, probably saved him from getting knocked down. So let's see what happens in round number 5. Great round from David Papot. And who knows, this fight might be even now. Because I gave Liam Parro the first 3 rounds, but a couple of them were really close. But he definitely won that last round. Great round from Papot. And he looks very, very confident at the moment. And Liam Parro just struggling to see a little bit out of that right eye, though. He does throw a 1-2 that Papot takes on the gloves. And for a guy that's only had, 5 knockouts in 30 wins, they were some very, very good punches that rocked Liam Parro. And he looks very confident at the moment. Is he 2 knockout streak? Okay. And that left hand's going to be a problem for Liam Parro because that right eye is swelling shut. And he's just not going to be able to see that left hand coming at him. And it's a very slick and quick left hand that Papot throws. And he's full of confidence at the moment. And he's very busy. He's actually muscling Liam Parro at the moment. And Liam Parro trying to get on the jab and get his senses back. But he's very much on the defensive at the moment. And Papot, as I said, looking very confident. Liam tries to jab, but he's not the same aggressive, confident fighter, Liam. He's actually backing up, and he's the one on his bike at the moment. And Papot looking to finish the job. Good punches from Papot again. And Liam's just having trouble seeing that left hand. I don't like the way Liam's coming in. He's trying to throw that 1-2, but he just cannot see out of that right eye. He does land a 1-2 there, though, does Liam Parro. And the Brisbane crowd trying to will Liam Parro on, but Papot looking very confident. I've got it 3-1 there, Jason. And I think so far with a minute to go, this round's up for grabs. Papot has probably been more aggressive, but I think actually Liam actually landed the better punches, but still a bit to go in this 5th round. He lands a left hand, does Liam, over the top. Another left hand. And Papot says, let's go. Goes to the body, does Papot. Good fight so far. Okay, whatever. Jericho. No worries, mate. He's looking pretty confident there, Mr. Yep. Although Liam looks like he's just got himself back on track there now. I think, look, even though Papot's been the more aggressive and looks a lot more confident, I'm not sure he's actually done enough to win the round, but it's close. So 10 seconds to go, round number 5. And the crowd is screaming, Parro. Look, I know a few out there won't agree with this, but I actually think Parro won that round, even though he was on the defensive most of the round. Papot was going after him, not really landing a lot. And I thought Liam landed some good jabs and a couple left hands. So, look, I've got it 4-1, but having said that, you just get the feeling that Papot could almost finish his fight at any stage. And I can't believe I'm saying that against a fighter of the quality of Liam and someone like Papot who's apparently got pillows for hands. So I don't think so, Naz. It's just the top of his eye. This looks like he's copped the left hand. It's just swollen, mate. The orbital bones is more around the side of the round. I thought so too, Carl. Thought it was Liam's round. Emmanuel, if you're not playing nice there, mate, you can go away too. It's I don't know, Lawrence. Obviously, a different one from you. Yeah, I don't know. Their shorts. Yeah, I don't know. I was close. I'm not biased at all. I just don't think he landed any good punches. I can't show you the fight there, mate. I just don't think Papot, he was aggressive. I just don't think he landed any punches. I think even though Liam was on the defensive, I thought he landed some good jabs and a couple left hands. So I'm just calling it the way I see it. Nah, mate, Papot's not winning, but it's been a good fight so far. In round number 6, by the way, Papot on the front foot again, Liam on the bike. Papot trying to load up that left hand. And he looks very confident, does Papot. And the thing is, look, what you got to look at is I'm obviously looking through Aussie eyes, but if a fighter is in another country and there's a close round, of course the home fighter is going to get it. I don't agree with it, but that's just the way it's going to be. I think Papot's having a good start to this round. We're a minute in. And this time Liam misses the left hand. I think Papot really needs to capitalise on the situation at the moment because he's got Liam still a little bit rattled, but he needs to pick it up and really land a few more shots on Parro, or you think that Liam's going to get back on track and dominate the later rounds. But he's got Liam where he wants him at the moment. He's just not capitalising. He's not throwing enough punches or really putting enough pressure on Liam at the moment. Thanks, Jay. So another close round number 6. I've got a 4-1 for Liam Parro at the moment, but I tell you, there's been a lot of close rounds. There's really only been one definitive round, and that was the 4th round for Papot. Well, we'll see, Lawrence. Been watching it for 35. Well, I've been watching it for 45. But anyway, I'm not going to jump on my soapbox, but I just think Liam's winning the fight. And full credit to Papot, by the way. He's fought a great fight so far, but I just think he needs to put it on Liam a bit more if he's going to win this fight. And he's being aggressive at the moment. He's trying to put it on Liam. He's just not landing any punches at the moment. There's a left uppercut that almost landed with 20 seconds to go. Left hand land. There you go. Another left hand from Papot. That's more like it. If he's going to win this fight, he needs to be more aggressive. Now, those two left hands there might have been enough to steal this round, by the way. Because if you're looking for a close round, you're looking for something, just something to give it your way. And whoever's on there that give me a hard time about being biased, I'm going to give that round to Papot, but I've still got 4 rounds to 2 for Liam Parro. What's that? Match fix Canelo Triple G. Not really. Nolly. He's fought a good fight. I've got it 4 rounds to 2 legals, is it? Hang on. All right. What do we got here? Let's go Papot. A couple of good left hands from Papot there. Look, I've given him the round. Close one. I don't think he's winning there, JP, but you never know. 3-3, good fight. Yeah, well, I got it 4-2, Zeus, but there's been a couple of really close rounds, and as I've said a few times, the really close rounds I've given the Parro because that's the way I think the judges will see it. I don't like the way it is, but that's just fact. So, but I've got it 4-2. All right, round number 7, second half of the fight. It's been a good fight so far. Really good fight. Number 7 there, Chillax, is that your name? Brian, come on. 6-0 for Papot. Come on. I thought you knew your boxing. Good fight. Punches from Papot. He's got Liam Parro in another bit of trouble here. We're only 30 seconds in. This is the way he's going to have to fight if he's going to win this. He needs to back Liam up and really start to throw some bombs. He's not going to outbox Liam. Nice couple of punches there from Liam, but I'm liking what Papot's doing now. I think he realises he's not going to win this on points if there's so many close rounds. And he's obviously hurt Liam a couple of times. And his punches have definitely had more effect on Liam than the other way around. There's a right hook that lands from Papot. More of a grazing punch, but still, it got through. Good on you, Chillax. That's your name, from the Philippines. I'll tell you what, though, he looks very, very confident, Papot. He's coming forward. Doesn't look like he's worried by Liam Parro at all. Halfway through round number 7. Nah, Mick, you're right, mate. There's no way he's going to get a decision. I agree. And that's why I've given the really close rounds to Parro, because that's the way the judges are going to see it. All right, so we've got just over a minute to go. And not a bad round again from Papot so far. Anyone's round. And Liam just looks very tentative. He almost looks like he's a little bit gun-shy from those earlier punches. It seems like every time he goes in and exchanges with Papot, he's getting nailed now. He does land a left hand there, though. And Papot just shrugs his shoulders and says, is that all you got? And now it's very, very evident that Papot is the bigger, stronger fighter. You can just see it really coming into effect now because he's really starting to push Liam back. I'm not liking the fact that Liam, in his southpaw stance, is that right hand down and Papot's just coming over the top with a left hand. He's missing most of them, but all it takes is one punch. And I don't like the fact that even with that eye, Liam's still got that right hand down. If anything, he should have that as high as he can because you can't see that left hand coming at him. So 15 seconds to go. I'm going to say that Papot's won this round. He's been the more aggressive. Neither one of the guys have really landed anything meaningful, but I'm going to give this round to Papot just on being aggressive and really pushing the fight. So there you go. So I have it 4 rounds to 3, guys. Sort of controlling the fight, Celtic Warrior. But I think the last 2 rounds, I just don't think he's done enough to take the round. So $8 to 1 to win. Okay. Was it $8 or 8 to 1? Carl Papot does well inside and can move. These Frenchmen are dangerous. Yep. He's definitely in beast mode there, Brian. I don't think he's won every round, though. But I've got it 4 to 3 for Liam Parro. But the last 2 rounds I've gone to all for Papot. And out of the first probably 4 rounds, 3 of them were very, very close. So this is anyone's fight going into round number 8. And you can see in the corner are very animated, really getting stuck into Liam now. He needs to dig deep because he's looking just a little bit vulnerable at the moment. And Papot doesn't look like he'd blow out a candle at the moment. So here we go, round number 8. Let's see if Liam Parro can dig himself out of this. I mean, he's still in front of my card, but Papot looks like he's really starting to gain momentum. Wilson won by 5th round knockout there, Puppet Show. Right hand to the body, left hook to the head, all over. Could be a draw, Shoy B, you don't know. All right. He's going to have to, Ryan. He's struggling at the moment. Papot looks just too big and strong at the moment. I'm saying that with a guy that's had 5 knockouts in 30 wins, but he doesn't look like he's still a big puncher, but he's precise. He just lands another nice left hand. And I've just got a feeling if he can level it up after 8 rounds, he's looking the goods to finish strong. Because Liam, hands are dropping a little bit. He's on the bike, and Papot is just hunting him down. And it's Papot that looks like the former world champion at the moment, by the way. As they clinch. All right, so little bit eventful. Look, even Liam, he's just sort of like popping the jab out. There's no real strength behind it or anything. He's just sort of poking it out. It looks like he has no strength at all, and Papot's just pushing him around. Does land a 1, 2, 3 there. Papot just says, bring it on. He just doesn't seem to have the strength at welterweight. I mean, he looks the goods, but Papot just looks the way bigger and stronger fighter. And Liam's punches having absolutely no effect on Papot whatsoever. Now, Papot's got the arms out saying bring it on, but he needs to punch or else he's going to lose this round. And he might be full of bravado, but you've still got to win the round. And so far, he hasn't really done anything this round. It's Parro that's done all the punching. So we've got a minute to go in round number 8. There's a low blow from Parro. He gets warned. Alex 5-2 Papot. Yep, okay. There's a 1-2 from Liam. Oh, look. I think Liam... I'm going to upset some people. I think Liam's winning this round. Papot's been full of bravado. He's been chasing Liam around. But he's just not throwing any punches. Which just staggers me why you would have a guy hurt and on the defensive and you're not throwing anything. You're allowing yourself to be beaten in this round, and it should be a round he's winning. There's another 1-2 from Liam. Another 1-2. Papot has just given this round away. And if Papot ends up losing this fight by a round or so, this will be the round he looks back at. Because he had Liam on the go and he just has not fought this round. He's let Liam just pot shot him and hasn't really thrown any punches. Yeah, I'm going to give that round to Liam Parro. I've got it 5-3. Well, Slippery Owl, we might be wearing him down, but he didn't win that round. He barely threw a punch. All he did was stand in the centre of the ring and held his hand out and wave Liam on. You've got to actually still punch. And Liam was the only one throwing punches, which staggers me. If he's got Parro hurt and in trouble, why wouldn't you put the pressure on? Yeah, maybe Slippery Owl, yeah, but he just didn't. It's a big crowd, I think, Alex, but he just did not throw any punches that round. So just standing in the centre of the ring and holding your arms out, although he did land a good left hand there. I just thought he landed a good left hand early and then he just let Liam steal the round. I don't get it. No knockdowns yet, Box Live. Who's winning? Well, depends on who you ask there, mate. I've got it 5-3 for Liam Parro, but if you talk to some of the people in this chat, they've got it 8-0 for Papot. Just don't think he's done enough in some of the rounds. And he should have won that last round. He 100% should have won it. And he just let Liam have the round. I don't think he's gassed out Boxy the Space Dog. I think he's just had a lazy round and he gave a round away that he shouldn't have. He does land a right to the body followed by a little left inside against Liam. Liam actually looks aghast at the moment and a little bit unsure of himself. And this is why I'm staggered why he's letting Liam now dictate the pace. And now he's backing up and he's just, I don't know what Papot is doing. He's now on the back foot moving away from Liam Parro. He's just moving forward saying, all right, well, if you don't want centre ring, I'll take it. And the last thing you want when you're fighting in someone else's country is to allow them to take centre ring and push you around. And Liam's all of a sudden saying, all right, well, if you're not going to fight, I will. And so far, Liam's winning this round. All right, we're up to over 426 people there watching. So I hope you're getting something out of this stream, guys. French supporter, he's doing well, Alex. He's doing very well so far, but he gave away the last round that he didn't need to give away. And so far, he's given this round away as well. We're halfway through, and literally all he's done so far is just move around the ring and let Liam follow him around the ring, throwing punches, and he's just holding his arms out. So I am staggered that he's adopted this. I don't know whether he thinks he's way in front or he can knock out Liam at any time. But with a minute 10 to go in round number 9, he's barely throwing a punch this round. Thanks, Naz. And he's just given this round away as well. I don't get it. Liam Parro, by looks of things, cannot believe his luck. Thanks, Carl. We're in just again, guys, we're in the 9th round. I've got it 5-3 for Parro, and it looks like it's going to be 6-3 because Papot just hasn't barely thrown a punch. Yeah, good call, Dylan. All of a sudden, it's a very, very good call. All of a sudden, he's just gone into his shell. If you're watching the fight like I am, I thought after round number 7, it was going to be all over. And the last 2 rounds, he's barely throwing a punch. He's just backing up, letting Liam Parro chase him around. So 20 seconds to go, and it's going to be another Liam Parro round. And I'm sorry for all the Papot supporters out there, but he's barely throwing a punch. Parro, that's what it sounds like. And Liam finishes the round strong and wins the round. I don't know. I try and give things like this a benefit of the doubt, but I cannot believe a guy who was on the verge of knocking a guy out at the end of 8 rounds has since come out and has got on his bike in the last 2 rounds. Sorry, after 7 rounds. In the last 2 rounds has barely thrown a punch. And has allowed Liam Parro, who was in trouble and really struggling and looking very dejected about things, just allow him just to dominate the last 2 rounds. So I now have it 6 rounds to 3. And all of a sudden, Papot needs a knockout. Yep, I'm not biased at all there, Louis. I'm just telling it the way it is. If you're watching it, tell me your opinion. I'm just telling you the way it is. Liam Parro was gone after round 7. And Papot has literally just given him the last 2 rounds. And you can call that as bias as you want. It's fact. All right, round number 10. Let's see if Papot gets a rev up in between rounds. Yeah, maybe Minkium, maybe. Trouble making the weight, yep. He still looks fresh. The last 2 rounds, I literally just held his arms out and just shook his head at Liam Parro and didn't throw a punch. And with 30 seconds into round number 10, I mean, he started this round better. As I said, I thought after 7 rounds it was, who's barely throwing a punch? Papot. He had Parro almost gone in round 7. And round 5, I think it was 4 or 5. And the last 2 rounds, he's just given the rounds away. Does throw a left-hand right hook there, though. He looks like he's started this round a lot stronger, though. They are swelling, yep. It's been swollen since round 4 there, Louis. That left eye when he took a few. Another right hook lands from Papot. Good exchanges this round. And again, I'll say Papot looks the stronger fighter and looks the bigger puncher, strangely enough. But he just needs to put the pressure on. Good round for him so far. I think he's winning this round so far. Although Parro does land a good little left hand there. Either way, if Liam Parro can pull this out, good combinations from Liam Parro. Great fight for him. Yeah, good punches being now thrown and landed by Parro. So we've got a minute to go in round number 10. And I think the last 30 seconds, Liam Parro has turned this round his way. He's looking a little bit more gas now, but I'm still struggling to get my head around the fact that he's just gone into his shoulder. Nice left hand from Liam lands. Nice, really nice left hand. Sorry, Jesse, Papot's not winning this now, I wouldn't have thought. I don't know what it is, but Papot's beard has turned yellow. I'm not sure whether it's from Parro's gloves. Nice left hand from Parro lands. He's actually, his beard is yellow. 1, 2, 3 from Parro. Good round from him. Haters have opinion. Liam should retire. Okay. I just think he's come up against an opponent who was better than what people thought. So end of round 10 coming up. And I gave that round to Liam Parro. I got it 7 rounds to 3 for Liam Parro. 2 rounds to go. But he is bloodied. He's got a swollen right eye, bloody nose. It's been a tough fight. Really tough fight. What's that, Mel Gibson? Well, thank you, Christian. That's a compliment, isn't it? To say you look like Mel Gibson. He is, Dennis. Yeah, Liam getting on top. Well, I won't say he's... Well, he's landing a lot more punches, but Papot is really, his beard changed colour. Yeah, it's yellow. Look, Liam's shown a lot of heart. He really has, because he was really struggling. But Papot, I don't know whether he's just gotten too confident or maybe he's read the script in between rounds. I don't know. But, I think Liam's definitely pulled out the last couple of rounds, I think. I've got it 7-3 there, Mark. He is. Well, just because you've got a bloody nose doesn't mean you're losing the fight, Louis. So round number 11. Jason, I tend to agree, mate, from what I've seen tonight. He's really struggled. Really struggled. But he's done enough to win. And Papot with the yellow beard coming forward at Parro. Yes, Dado, Parro is winning, in my opinion anyway. I think Papot's just missed a really good opportunity to beat Liam Parro, and he's just gone into his shell. Though he's opening up a little bit now, but Parro is actually getting the better of the exchanges. Oh, he's rocked there. Papot rocks Liam with a left hand. Liam on the ropes. Oh, he punches out of it, but he's rocked again. Ties up Papot, who tries to punch out of the clinch. And Parro looks exhausted at the moment. And the two just exchanging punches in the centre of the ring, and Papot just can't get a clean shot at Parro, who clinches. And Parro bloodied. He's got the swollen eye and looks shaky at the moment. And Papot getting the better of these exchanges. And as I said, Parro looking exhausted at the moment. Just looking to clinch and hold up and survive it in there. I think Parro got warned for hanging on, I think, there. Uppercut lands from Papot. He's got a minute and a half here if he can land one. Because Liam Parro is just hanging on for dear life. Been a great fight so far. And Papot just can't get the room to land that shot. He's definitely winning the round, mate. No mistake about that. But he just cannot get the leverage to land a big shot. And he's pouring on the punches, and Liam Parro just doing whatever he can to survive at the moment. Although Papot goes down, it's called a slip. No knockdown there. Both guys just throwing bombs at the moment. I don't like this from Liam, though. He should be playing it safe. Just throwing punches from the bleachers is not the smart thing to do when you've only got one eye and you've got a guy who's pretty slick. So 35 seconds to go in round number 11. Definitely a Papot round, but he just hasn't been able to land more than sort of one shot at a time. I'm still trying to get my head around his yellow beard. All right, 15 seconds to go. Good round from Papot. He's definitely won the round. But on my card, it's going to be 7-4, so he's going to need a knockout in round 12 to win. And look, Parro's showing a lot of heart fighting back, but he's done enough to survive the round. But, geez, he's got one round to go. I would think it's a tough one for Parro in this last round. On my card, 7-4, I think he's obviously got to have a knockout to win. It's whether Parro goes totally defensive, which allows Papot just to do all the punching, or does he risk it and just do what he's been doing and try to win the round. Tristan, I've got it 7-4 for Liam Parro. Thanks, Lawrence. Yeah, I'm biased or whatever. Okay. Are you watching the fight, Lawrence? Let me know. The back of his head he's going to be yellow too. Thanks, Duncan. I don't understand a few of you. And look, Lawrence, if you think I'm biased, mate, hey, there's plenty of other channels out there that you can go and harass, mate. So there you go. All right, Parro's winning, yes. All right, here we go. Round number 12. They touch gloves, and let's see if Papot can pull it out. Liam on the back foot. You can see he's going to survive, or try and survive this round. And Papot takes centre ring. You can see he's going to try and land the big shot. I'm with you there, Ryan. I don't know, mate. I don't think it's going to be an upset, Clifton. I think Parro's going to win this fight, but I'll tell you what, Papot is really having a crack in this last round. And Liam Parro comes back at him. Left uppercut from Papot. I'll tell you what, both guys have shown a lot. All right, so 50 seconds down. And Papot just misses a big left hand there. I'll tell you what, this has been a great fight for both guys. Papot's shown he's world class, and Liam Parro has shown that he's got a ton of heart. Not so sure he's going to be happy about his first performance at welterweight, though. All right, so 1:45 to go in the last round. No worries, Arnell. All right, so halfway through round number 12, both guys throwing all sorts of punches, nothing really landing. Papot desperate to land the big bombs, and Parro just sort of peppering him with 1, 2s, and 3s. Yeah, Matt, exactly. I think Liam Parro's winning this last round. I think he's been great in his last one. So I've got it, 7-4 at the moment. A minute to go in round number 12. It's been an excellent fight. Both guys are going to be sore tomorrow. Good left hand from Papot lands. Another right hand from Papot. But Liam took it well. And Papot on the ropes. Both guys clinching at the moment. So we've got 35 seconds to go. As a referee trying to separate the guys. Liam just bought himself about 8 seconds there, by the way. And Papot in the centre of the ring, challenging Parro to fight. Liam's on the outside, happy to and content just to jab to the head, jab to the body and move. Oh, they exchanged left hands there. Neither one of them landed flush. Liam misses another big left hand there. Under 10 seconds to go. And I think Liam Parro has done enough to win this round as well. There it is. There is the bell. And my final verdict is 8 rounds to 4. 116, 112 for Liam Parro. A lot of close rounds in there. But again, I think if you've got close rounds, the Aussie's going to win. The home fighter. Geez, that right eye is swollen shut on Liam Parro. And that was courtesy of that 4th round where he was in all sorts of trouble. Showed a lot of heart, did Parro, but geez, hats off to David Papot. Fantastic performance from him, and he is world class. Well, we think he's world class, but that was a great effort. So on my unofficial card, I've got it 116, 112 for Liam Parro. What's that? Papot didn't throw punches for 3 rounds and Liam only just one. Shocked as a Parro fan. Yeah, I'm with you there, James. Jason, I think Papot has let this one go. I think he's let it go. I think after the probably 6th or 7th round, I think he was dominating the fight. I think he was dominating the fight, and he let it go. He eased up and let Liam back in the fight, went to sleep for 2 or 3 rounds. I think it's cost him the fight. Yeah, Paul, he did show more power than his record suggests. And again, I've got it 116, 112 for Liam Parro. I think Michael Zarafa just said he had Liam winning by two rounds. So what's that, 115, 113? He'd have it. What's that? You kidding me? You didn't watch the fight, but you think it's a draw. Is that just based on my commentary or? Upset alert, Lloyd. No, I don't think so. Don't think so. All right, let's see some of the comments there. 116, 112 for Papot. Okay, yeah, good job, yep. No worries there, Jay. Let's see some of the comments there. Papot bottled that. I agree. I think he had the fight all on his terms. and he just let it go. JB 115, 113. Yep. Yeah, a lot of close rounds in there. Parro done him easy work. I don't know if it was easy there, Tszyu, but we'll see. All right. Here we go. Judges about to announce a decision. $117, $111. $116, $112. $116, $112. Blue corner, Liam Parro wins a unanimous decision. 117, 111, and 116, 112 times 2, which is exactly the way I had it. 116, 112. So, look, a lot of close rounds in there. I'll see if I can get a little bit of what Liam has to say. We've come this far. Not sure you can hear this, guys. I'm about to get myself banned, but whatever. I don't care if the video gets taken down. It doesn't matter. We've done what we have to do. Let me know if you can hear that. Probably save the F-bombs, Liam, but...
Was he better than you thought? Because, gee, he was tough and he punched with some power. Yeah, look, man, he's...
yeah, Jalen, he was.
Believe the record, you know, he could back no harder than 5 KO. Good on him. He come to fight. Yeah, we respect him. This is world level, you know what I mean? Everyone can fucking fight. And you just dig deep. Respect to Poland.
She's that eyes bad. No worries, pound for pound king. Loved the photo there too. No worries, Oyo.
Must be a special bond in that corner. Yeah, 100%. Everyone knows that for
117, 111, 116, 112 times 2, Manny. No worries, Delane. I reckon mine would go a nice shade of yellow there too, mate.
I want to thank each and every person for coming out. It really truly means a lot. Now, we couldn't do what we do without you. So, everyone that bought a ticket, right from the bottom of my heart, I truly love you and respect you for coming out and supporting this beautiful sport.
No worries, Mick.
What better than on Thursday night watching two fellas punch out?
All right, so that's. I hope you heard a little bit there. That was his interview afterwards. So that's it, guys. So the final score is 117, 111, 116, 112 times 2. Yeah, look, I'll agree. Free kick Hawthorn. I will agree that 117, 111 was a little bit well, not correct, I suppose. Was a little bit lopsided. But look, a lot of close rounds there. I just thought again that Liam Parro, I won't say he's lucky to get out of it, but I'd be scratching my head if I was a Papot supporter at how he let that slip, because Liam looked in a lot of trouble after round 7, and in round 8 and 9, it's like Papot just went into his shell, went to sleep, just didn't engage, and Liam Parro just couldn't believe his luck, won those 2 rounds and got his confidence back. And he closed out the show. So I had it 8 rounds to 4. So I think at one stage it was 4-3. I had it for after 7. He's won 4 of the last 5 rounds. So yeah, great. Look, showed a lot of heart, but I won't lie and say that I'm just a little bit concerned at how Parro won, mate. Unanimous decision. I won't lie and say that I'm not concerned that at that weight. You had a guy that was 5 knockouts in 30 fights. or 30 wins. Wasn't really perceived as top of the tree, I suppose, the top level. And he's had a life and death struggle with him and been bullied and pushed around by what's perceived as a pretty weakish type of opponent, as far as strength goes, I mean. It's a little bit of a concern. He was rocked a couple of times by a guy with 5 knockouts. So they've got some work to do. That's what you would have heard him say there. He's got to go back and work on some things, but I'm not sure. Look, you're either strong at the weight or you're not. He just looks, as the fight went on, Papot just looked more bigger and stronger, and he looked the stronger guy, the harder puncher. And I'm also a little bit concerned watching the replay now at the amount of punches that Liam actually took and the effect they actually had on him. He was nailed a few times and hurt. Look, let's just put it down to the fact it's his first time at 147. But geez, I tell you what, if I was in his position, I know he's made the move up to 147, but if he can make 140, I'd be seriously considering going back down. It's not going to happen. He's made the move now, so I'm sure he'll stay there, but it just didn't look strong, and he looked vulnerable. Let's just hope it's being his first fight at 147 that he's just finding his way there and needs to get a bit stronger, but it is concerning that he was nailed so many times, so... yeah, so it is what it is. All right, guys. Well, that's probably going to do it for this event. Thanks for this watch-along. Thanks very much. We had nearly 450 people watching there at one stage. It doesn't go close to our record of, I think we had about 15,000 watching one of Nikita Tszyu's fights one day, but I think 14,500 of them were just after a free stream. But anyway, but no, I really appreciate everyone watching along. Apologies again that I was a little bit late getting on. I missed the first fight. But congratulations to Liam Parro, who won by unanimous decision again, 117, 111, and 116, 112 times 2. So, guys, thanks to everyone that tuned in. I'm not quite sure when the next watch-along will be, but I'll let you know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and look forward to catching you next time on the watch-alongs. Have a good one, guys. Thanks again.